Guess who's back? Back again. Carl Banks is back. Did you? The question I had on Twitter, Carl, was: did you lose a bet?
No, I don't bet.
Because no one ever wants to come here, and you came here twice, except for Matt Sims. We can never get rid of Matt. He always shows up, and he's like that guest. He stays at the party just a little bit too long. But everyone, he's back again. It's giant legend, Mr. Carl Banks. And I'm going to, two Hall of Famers ask me, you know what? Nobody likes to kiss ass this early in the stream. You kiss ass during the little bit further into the stream, a little further into it. Mr. Banks, the first time you came on, there was this glint in everyone's eye. There was this expectation of hope. There was this crescendo, this wave that we were going to be riding. And I remember the very first stream that you and Bob Papa did recently before the season for Believe. And of course, this show is brought to you by the mighty FanDuel, FanDuel.com, number one sportsbook in America. And on that stream, and it was the very first one, and it was a little, you didn't record it. And I remember that because you guys were, it was your first time you did, and you mentioned that you didn't record it, but you said something very apropos on the stream. You basically said that everyone, as the season starts, as we get going into the season, everything's great. And you even said that, you said, but talk to me in November.
Yeah.
Well, it's November.
Yeah. As we were saying before we went on the air, everything starts with potential. And we can look at rosters on paper. We can look at schedules on paper. And, some areas that were concerns got better. Some areas that we thought would be the strength of this giant team literally got worse. The person that comes to mind that nobody thought would be any good and just thought he would be a bust is John Michael Schmitz. And, we barely hear anything negative about him. And I think, you give credit to Carmen Bracillo, who's done an incredible job with this offensive line. And they are literally the strength of this giant team. And you can't say enough about from September to where we are right now in November, the continued progress. You went into the season thinking this giant team can't score. They're awful in the red zone. They have one of the lowest scoring offenses in the NFL. And lo and behold, each and every week, they find ways to put points on the board. They find ways to give the defense leads going into the fourth quarter or even late into the game. And so, the tragedy of what we have continued to see is that good coaches are going to lose jobs or are losing jobs. On the offensive side of the football, we don't know. And I'm rooting like hell for Mike Kafka to make it a very difficult decision for this front office to move on from him. But you don't know how that works, right? They may say we're just going to clean the slate and start again, and then you're giving your rookie quarterback another offensive coordinator, which has plagued Giants quarterbacks for many years. And you always say, okay, well, they'll get somebody in that'll be competent and get things going. But there is something to be said about chemistry, especially on the offensive line. They're not easy to develop. You look around the league, and it's taken the Giants all of freaking a decade to get an offensive line back together that's functional. You unplug that, and again, there's no mandate for a new coach to come in and say you got to keep the coaches you want. They may believe in the coaches that they have, and but that could be a tragedy for me. And guys are losing jobs because a part of the team that is the most invested in, that has talent, the defense is failing, and that's disappointing to me on several levels. But the fact that you can't draw inspiration from the effort that this offense gives you every week, or if you can't draw inspiration from your best player, just leaving it out there on defense every single Sunday in Brian Burns, I just, you just got to check the pulse, or, you know, check what the priorities are of these players. Coaches are involved in this too. Obviously, Shane Bowen, who, by all accounts, my account anyway, was a competent coach, but he didn't make adjustments. And I said this early on. I said that if they couldn't get better against the run, it would be unacceptable. He passes the basic exam of, are you a qualified coach? Yeah. But, what makes you a good coach is the ability to lean into your strengths and kind of minimize the exposure of your weaknesses. And, you got 5 to 7 players on that team when healthy that should cover up for a lot of things defensively, and they just don't. And then you have players that, in my opinion, have regressed. All of a sudden, Drew Phillips is a player that went to have a promising rookie year. We were all excited for him coming out of last season, only to see him regress. A guy like Tyler Nubin, who, I've pointed it out, he takes bad angles. Who's coaching him, right? It's not like he can't play. He came out of college with a ton of interceptions. He's got ball skills, but you could never tell, right? So is it something they're not teaching? Is it lack of attention to detail? I don't know. But when you look at the film, and, the straw that broke the camel back for me was the Detroit game. They had an excellent opportunity to go and pull an upset and really get their team and their morale back on track. And it was just so disappointing, not having your best player on the field for, overtime. And then even in the last series where they scored to get it into overtime, he's not out there. Was disappointing to me. And, we find out that, and I use the word exact, he's nicked. He stood at his locker after the game. I'm talking about Dexter Lawrence, who, contrary to what people believe, he's still my favorite Giant player. But he stood at his locker after the game, and I think it was Jordan Renan who asked him, could you have played? And he says, I'm a competitor. I always want to play. And then Jordan asked him, well, is the elbow so bad that you couldn't? He said, no. He said, I was following the process and the game plan. And the game plan was to have me on the field on third down. Well, you never get to third down, right? You don't. So, they had this rotation going all game. And I think in every sport we know that's a team sport where you can rotate in and out. The objective of rotations is to keep your guys fresh. There's no better time than to put a fresh player on the field in overtime. It's crunch time. And I thought that was a failure from where I see it. Right now, you'd have to ask the coaches what the real plan was, because I can't tell you that, right? Because I don't talk to them at that level. But if I can take Dexter at his word, he said he could have played. He always wants to play. He wants to be on the field, but he was following the game plan and the process. And that's an indictment, because that just means it tells me that as a defensive head coordinator, and look, I guess they're all subservient to the guy who is the head, right? So I'm not going to sit here and say that Andre Patterson should have been knocking Shane Bowen over the head saying, put my guy in. They all respect the chain of command. That's all. That's the only thing I could take out of this, right? Dexter, being a competitor, respects the chain of command. I wasn't raised that way, right? If I was held out of a game during crunch time and I could go, somebody would have to die, to keep me on the sideline, because I'm going out there, right? But it's not my era. It's not my team. They're not my teammates, and those are my coaches, right?
I was the 80s and the early, like I said, I played in the late 90s in college only, but it was a different era. It was a different situation that it is now in 2026. I didn't want to interrupt you, but because you're honestly were kind of depressing me for a minute, but I wanted to get to this comment real quick. I was like, can we just end the stream now and go watch Nick? I'm going to Carl's house. We're going to watch it next week back in 2 hours. I wanted to get to this question because this is from Arsenal Domination. This guy, his name is Dominic Palmer. He's a great friend of the show. He's actually someone that we've met on the show. He flew all the way over from the UK and actually came with me. We took him to his first Giant game not too long ago. But he's on a different time zone, and I wanted to make sure he got his question in because I know he should be asleep by right now. It's his question, Carl. I assume the season has been a disappointment for you, but was it a surprise to you?
Absolutely. Absolutely. There was no way you could convince me that this defense, with the players they have, would be this bad, even with injuries. Because, again, if you got 5 out of 11 players and they're up front for you, you can mask a lot of things. And, people think that the Giants don't have talent. They have talent. Now, they're not all Brian Burns, but
it would be nice if it was.
Right. But you can literally coach guys that are less talented into the things that won't expose them, and then you can plan around that. And it is totally a surprise to me. It also surprises me that they didn't have a plan, or I don't know what Charlie Bullen is going to do, but they didn't have a plan for Abdul Carter, right? It's just like roll the ball out there and let him play. It doesn't work that way. Even with LT, we had a plan, right? The plan was to always get favorable matchups for him. And the folks that say you can't play those 3 guys together, Thibodeau, Burns, and Carter together, they're totally wrong. I've seen it done many times, and you're not going to be overwhelmed by tackles. Penei Sewell is not on every team, right? Teams are not that dominant up front to where they can be overwhelmed. Kayvon Thibodeau does really well against the run. So you play him on the edge, he'll play the edge, but it's disappointing to see. And some of the basics that are lacking. And it just tells me that the emphasis is not on the right things as you watch your season spiral and the same plays. I mean, for Detroit, they probably didn't even have to go into their playbook. All they had to do is play the greatest hits that plagued the Giants, like the toss crack 5 weeks in a row.
Yep.
It looks the same, right? Players look the same trying to defend it, and the results are the same when the offense runs it. And it's just, I'm like, do you guys go over any of this in team meetings, right? Is there an adjustment that you can make from week to week, or you just
how about
you guys out there
on halftime?
Yeah. I mean, it's not like they were running it any different than anybody else. It was just they line up, wide receiver in tight, cornerback doesn't communicate to the edge, hey, watch the crack. They just let it go and hope for the best. And that's just not defense as I know it in this era or any other era if you're going to be good.
Well, I want to bring this gentleman in because this is a gentleman that gave us the question. He says, I'm not that short. Dom, you are that short, all the way from the UK for Arsenal domination. This gentleman is Dominic Palmer. He's been with the show forever. We met him and actually became a personal friend, and I don't hold that against him, but because I like him because he's vertically challenged, so I look taller. And I knew he's late over in the UK, and I knew he had a question for Carl, so I wanted to make sure. And Dom, you had to work last time, so I wanted to make sure you got on real quick and ask your question to Mr. Banks, because you know what? I need some dry British sense of humor, because the guy in the middle, he's a little depressing right now. We got to cheer him up, Dom. Come on, Dom, we got to cheer him up a little bit.
It's been a depressing season again, though, right?
Yeah.
No, pleasure to be on with a true legend and Carl. You asked for some British humour, there you go. Genuinely pleasure to be on, and it really interesting. I've only listened to the last 10 minutes or so.
Oh God, he bores the shit out of me half the time. I'm sorry. All right, so let's go on. I'm sorry, Dom.
Every time you wonk me, every time.
But go ahead. What's your question?
Well, I was going to say, I've got a second question. Carl, as I say, genuinely lovely to meet you, and really interesting to hear. What would you do if you could make one change right now, either between now and the end of the season, to try and turn it around, or in the off season? What would be the one? I mean, I think there's several things that need changing, right? But if you could make one big change, what would it be to try and turn things around? Because it's been not great for nigh a decade, if not more.
Well, I'm going to use a phrase that you may not know, but it's called run fits, right? Every week, you have to go over run fits, meaning run responsibilities based on the running back and how they block for him. And you walk through those every single day to make sure that guys know what their leverage should be, to make sure that guys can get to the ball and make plays. You should not have a play so perfectly blocked where nobody touches him until he gets to the third level of your defense. That's just poor. It's poor coaching. And then you also have capable players who couldn't get off a block. So those would be my emphasis: is get off blocks. Well, number one, know what your run fits are based on your opposing run scheme and the running back. And then the second part of it is you can't stay blocked. And you play defense. You're not supposed to stay blocked.
Interesting. Can I ask a second question, Tim? Is that right?
Go ahead. That's the third one now. Come on.
I wasn't live.
Now he's ready. Here we go. Good.
Yeah. Tim, how's your hair look so good? No.
Well, I will tell you this. I'm actually having a little bit of a bad hair day, but we're not going to get into that, Dom. At least your hair is growing back after that haircut.
Yeah, mine's more of a, mine is not great. But I mean, I was reflecting on something you said a couple of minutes ago when you're talking about how some of these players, like, Tyler Newman comes out of college, for instance, and maybe I was thinking about how they don't necessarily progress into that second season. They start okay. Banks is another one at corner. What do you think sort of stopping this progression? Because, as you say, not all these players can be bad players coming out of college. Like, some will be hit, some will be missed. It's a bit of a crapshoot, right, in the draft. But we're constantly seeing players progress, and the ones that fail to progress, and the ones that do progress seem to sort of leave. But what do you think's going on there with the coaching? Is it sort of a mentality thing in the organization, or is there something more fundamental? I don't know if you had any insights into that.
I mean, they all wear Giants uniforms. So when we talk about organization, that includes everybody that works for them. I think you have to have a plan. When they drafted Deonte Banks, Wink Martindale had a plan. He knew how he wanted to use him, right? You just can't. And this is not a defense or a criticism of the people who evaluate players, or Joe Schoen in particular. But you can't always blame a selection on the general manager without having to look at how they're being coached. Right now, if a coach is exasperated and they just can't get anything out of the guy, then you say, okay, general manager, this is on you. But when you have guys and they come in 1 year and they look promising and you think that their trajectory is going upward, and all of a sudden they either plateau or go backwards, then you have to, and this is something that Joe Schoen, I would implore him to do, is have these conversations with the coaches and say, hey, look, why isn't this guy developing? What do you need from us, or what can we do to get this guy developed? Because he's going backwards. We know everything we evaluated about this kid says that he should be a good player. Why isn't he developing? What aren't you doing to develop him? They have the same information that the coaches have, right? They see a player who takes bad angles, right? Are you emphasizing tackling angles? Are you emphasizing everybody's run fit? And clearly they don't, because it's happening week in and week out, and you can't have 11 dumb players on the field. That's just not how it works. You got to be able to coach them.
And is there anything you think is associated with that, like with the players next to them, right? So if you have a player that's doing well, you can. I'm sort of talking more here what you guys would call soccer, which is sort of more that, I'm a big fan of NFL, but soccer I understand and watch more, right? But sometimes you can have a really good player and you'll then target that player, which limits their ability because you don't have the player next to them. But if you've got that sort of player next to them, it makes it harder just to target that one player. Do you think there's something in that as well? Or do you think it's just solely down to what you were just talking about?
Well, much like soccer, American football is a team sport, and everything is interconnected, right?
Yeah.
If one guy fails to do something, it puts the other guy
under more pressure,
in a vulnerable
right?
position. But again, when you talk about but when I talk about run fits, right, or tackling angles, these are all things that have to be coached, right? You can have a ton of talent on the field and nobody does what they're supposed to do in a cohesive way or in a connected way. It looks like it looks now.
Dom, I'm not going to give you any more questions because you're boring me. And I have my own questions, but I wanted to make sure that you were able to come on. Of course, everyone knows that's Dominic Palmer from Arsenal Domination. Also, I don't know, Dom. Go to bed.
Dom, thank you so much, and get some rest. It's 1 o'clock there, 1:30 there.
12:30, and I was on the 5:30 train to London this morning. So,
yeah. Dom was having a few pints already. Texted me a couple hours ago, so I was very surprised when he said that he wanted to come in and say hello. But Dom, it's a pleasure as always.
Thanks for having me on, and great to meet you, Carl, as well. Tim, I'll speak to you soon.
Thank you, guys.
All right, well, thank you. You talked about Abdul Carter a minute ago before I was interrupted by Dom, and you had mentioned basically that you can't just throw him out there, that there doesn't seem to be a thought process or a plan. And he is a rookie. He's coming in. It's a difficult position to play. He's on a veteran laden line. What can he do, or what can the coaching staff do to get him going? Because he's got 12 solo tackles and a half a sack going into 10 games now. What can we do, or what can they do to make him part of the game plan?
Make him part of the game plan. That's the operative phrase right there. Make him part of the game plan. He gets close on his own ability, but I don't see them doing anything to exploit his unique abilities. He's just a guy out there, and you could tell now it's starting to wear on him. He gives effort, but it just doesn't see the juice anymore, because he's just going through his job, and they're not making his job any easier, and they're not using him in a way that can impact games. They just don't. You put him and Brian Burns on the same side, and you run a stunt, or you do some 3-man stuff, you see how fast this guy can get to the quarterback, and they just don't. They don't do it. I should say they haven't done it. Charlie Bullen is the new.
They haven't done it. Hopefully they haven't done it yet. I got to bring in another guest, because this gentleman, T. Brad, big fan of the show. Another friend of mine. Just had dinner with him and his lovely wife last weekend. Missed it last time because he was working also. T.
What's up?
This is T. Brad. Carl Banks.
What's going on, brother? Carl Banks. Thank you for the many great memories as a Giants fan. Appreciate you, brother. I don't know. Am I just on here, Tim, to ask questions, rapid fire?
Whatever you like. I said, you had questions the other night.
Oh, man!
But you were 4 glasses in and a few other things.
Yeah, well, I don't want to put him on the spot, because I think Joe Shane should be fired. and I don't want to put you in jeopardy of answering that question.
You don't have to put. I mean, don't worry about putting me on the spot. I think I can handle any question.
Go ahead,
All
Ted.
right. What's your feeling on there? And I have my own synopsis, but what's your feeling on should he stay or should he go?
I don't have a feeling. I think they're going to evaluate that. I think for everything that they evaluate, they're going to evaluate the good and the bad. Again, picking players is not an exact science. A lot of that development comes from coaching. But look, it's a results-oriented business. I don't know if obviously the on-field results aren't great. There's talent on the team. He's upgraded that. He's gotten them into better fiscal position. And they also, they're evaluating talent better. But again, however whatever barometer they use as to whether or not he's been effective, the win-loss record is not going to be in his favor, right? But there's more to it that goes into it, and we'll see. I just think their evaluation processes are much better. The fact that you can find a franchise quarterback is a plus. It's a big plus because that's how you win games in this league, and the franchise quarterback is playing well. His coaches on that side of the ball are coaching him well. So I don't think it's a slam dunk either way, whether he stays or goes. I think he's a smart man. I think he understands the game, but we're in a results-oriented business. So I don't know what's going to happen, but there'll be enough things that he's done that will make people who have to make those decisions really ponder whether or not he stays or goes. I mean, the public-facing aspect of the job, you're not seeing the results as fans, right?
Exactly.
But there are other things that infrastructure-wise that he's put in place, or he and his staff have put in place, in the way they've gone about some things has worked in his favor. I'm not going to tie myself in a knot trying to explain it either way, but I just think those are the things that they're going to have to evaluate.
I want to get to this question from Slider though, because Slider he's always very astute with his questions. Says, Mr. Banks, tackling is a lost art. Why are there so many defenders trying to make a tackle with their shoulders and not wrapping up?
Well, that's a good question. Maybe they're not being taught, right? You come out of college flawed. Just like offensive linemen have to relearn their positions when they get to the pro level, defenders have to as well. I think the biggest part of tackling, aside from the want to aspect of it, is to wrap, right? But if you can bring your shoulders to a tackle, the easy part is wrapping up. I had this conversation with Micah McFadden his rookie year when he was missing a ton of tackles, but he was there where he was supposed to be. And I said, just take the extra step. You already got your shoulders there. Take an extra step, wrap up, you get a guy to the ground. I think he's a much improved tackler. But, if you don't have people that are talking about these things in detail, you don't get it, right? You can just tell a guy, wrap up, but tell them why and how they can be better tacklers, right? If you're close enough to hit a guy with your shoulders, if you take another step and wrap up, the guy's going down. Simple as that.
The Gibbs play, I never, anyone that's a professional or anyone that's played professionally, I never like to question effort or and I think effort is a very subjective word as well, because effort could be defined as many different things. But the second level, the linebackers, it just didn't seem like, again, maybe it's coaching, but in my perspective, it just didn't seem like they were, I don't know, fully engaged in the play, or because it's almost, you're laughing. I'm trying to be like, I don't have to be nice about it, but I don't know. I was a little the whole thing about Leonard Williams not being, Leonard Williams, Dexter Lawrence not being there, Nacho not being in there. Not inexcusable, but like I said, it would just seem that lack of effort, and I don't like using that word, but it just didn't seem like it was almost like kind of let him.
That's a very appropriate that's a very appropriate statement, because I questioned the effort. Nobody could get off of a block. And to let someone, in Detroit, they put that film on and they said it was blocked perfectly, right? They had every block. But I go back to what I said earlier. It's all about run fits, right? And I've seen, again, the greatest hits against the Giants are not something that comes out of their playbook, but it's something that's coming out of everybody else's that have success. The inside zone or the inside power play, you have linebackers who just sit back, right? And they almost like they want to play peekaboo. But if you're going to play peekaboo at the second level, the back has two options, right? He can go left or right, and you just guess wrong. But when you see it's an inside zone run and there's a double team on your 3 technique, just step up in the backside linebacker, go to the backside hole. So when it cuts back, you make the tackle. But both guys are at the second level at 4.5, 5 yards, and they never move. They never step up towards the line of scrimmage. To me, that's coaching, right? And I respect Giants. I go out of my way to be respectful to Giants coaches, and I always want them to have success, but you got to teach it better, and if they're teaching it and the guys aren't doing it, then shame on the players. But I've seen it too many times. It's consistently the same thing. So that tells me from week to week, you're not making the adjustment. And I don't know if you don't want to or you just don't know how, but it's pretty simple, right? If you see that same run, if your 3 technique is being double teamed, get to the line of scrimmage, take the double team off, right? So if Dexter's being double teamed and you got a linebacker who can take that double team off, nobody's blocking Dexter one-on-one. Right? He'll get off of a block and make a play. Same with Nacho, who's a little bit undersized, but he'll get off of a block if you can give him a one-on-one. And that's, and that's back to my point of you're not leaning into your strengths, right? You're almost leaning away from them, hoping that they can do miraculous things play after play. And, that's something that, because I learned football, all the fundamentals first and how things work and breaking down offensive schemes and how players block. I understand how all of this should work. And I think every coach should invest in that, right? Not just looking at a play and say, okay, it's going to be a double. Dex, you're going to have to fight through it. No, how about bringing your linebackers up to the line of scrimmage to give him his one-on-one? Create your matchups, your favorable matchups. That's how you do it. Right. And that's not asking your linebackers to be world beaters. It's just having the right run fit to let your best player make a play for you. Right. I don't expect your linebackers to make every play when they run up to the line of scrimmage and take on a tackle or a guard. But what it will do is give your best player his favorable matchup while you hold the line of scrimmage. But when you're off 5 yards and trying to take on a block, they're going to get that 5.4 or 5.9 yards of carry, because by the time you get off a block, you're going to tackle a guy at 6 yards.
People forget that before that play, the Lions were 18 carries for like 170 yards. So yeah. It was the fact that I think Dan Campbell decided against going to as much as a run as he probably should have. The reason I brought up the linebackers was, of course, we had a promotion, into a defensive coordinator position who happened to be the linebacker coach. And I'm kind of curious when we talk about teaching and adjustments. And like I said, he hasn't coached a game as the DC yet, so we don't know what he's going to be. But how I get slightly concerned when I see the linebacker play that we've had, but then we promote the guy that was in charge of the linebacker.
So for clarity, there's an outside linebacker coach and there's an inside linebacker coach, right? So when you look at the outside linebackers, which is your 2 edge guys, Thibodeau and Burns, they're playing lights out, right? Thibodeau, before he was hurt, great run defender, played with his hands. The inside linebackers, I don't know if Charlie Bullen had any input on that. And then the other aspect of it is the schematics. It's the defensive coordinator who creates the schematics. So the fact that they continue to show the same thing every week tells me that this is part of the schematics that they're being taught.
That's fair. That's fair. I got to bring in James Stein, one of the old. What I thought I was old, but James Stein, one of the long time subscriber to the channel for the last 4 years. Well, he had a question I know for Carl last week as well, so I wanted to bring in James. James, you have Carl, you have T-Rod and myself. James, what's your question?
Okay, my question is, why are they keeping Joe Shane instead of cleaning the house totally, going with like a clean slate?
What?
I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen at the end of the season. As I said prior to you coming on, there are a lot of factors that are going to go into consideration. The talent on the team, the infrastructure that he's built, the fiscal condition of the team. All of those things are going to come into play. His talent evaluation, their talent evaluation processes will factor in also. But the win-loss record doesn't work in his favor. The regression of certain players, like you can say, a guy like Newman and Drew Phillips, when they came in, they were lights out. You show promise. This year they've gone backwards, right? Guy like Javon Holland and Paulson Adebo, they came in with high promise and been hurt, right? And then Javon Holland makes a bonehead mistake at the end of the game, who puts them in, better field goal position. So I don't know what they're going to do there. I think Joe's a smart guy. I'm not part of the evaluation process. But like I said, the win-loss record doesn't work in his favor, but there are other pieces of the organization that he's responsible for that are going to be under consideration as well.
James, thank you for the question. Speaking of Holland, he had such a serendipitous drop that season in Miami, and then we signed him to the big contract. I know some people are upset because it's like, well, a couple $1 million more, you could have signed Xavier McKinney, but that was 2 years ago. We're now
2 years prior, right?
Exactly. So we can't look at it that way. But are you surprised? I mean, besides the injuries, his play up and down at best. I mean, is there something that he is? I mean, from your perspective, is there something that is missing from his game that he was such a force 3 years ago?
Sure.
To where we are now.
There's a common thread. Look at all the players that have regressed or not gotten better. They're all in the same unit. They're all being coached. They were all being coached in the same scheme. So I would have to say that coaching matters. Teaching matters more so than coaching. And again, you just can't roll them out there and say, go get them. You gotta teach them how they should work within your scheme. And I see too much of the same stuff from players that have ability. And from a fan perspective, all you guys can look at and say is, these guys are a bust. We wasted our money on them. They're not doing. Listen, Xavier McKinney, when he was with the Giants, he's a self-starter, right? But they also had a plan for him, right? They knew where he needed to be. He was where he was supposed to be. He came from a great college program, had great coaching there, so he took coaching. But he goes to Green Bay, same with Julian Love. And they have plans for those guys. Julian Love becomes a Pro Bowler, right? That's because they have a plan for the ability that these kids have. And you don't roll them out there. I mean, you don't have Ed Reed and Deion Sanders, where they are individually all-time greats. That's not how football works. It's a team sport. You got to teach them, and you got to give them a plan that they can go out and execute. And their plan, like I said, based on everything that we've seen consistently bad, tells me that the plan has not been great. And when I look at the techniques and how guys don't get off of blocks, it tells me that teaching hasn't been great either.
Shane Bowen had, with his 5 seasons in Tennessee, never had a dominant secondary. And the 2 years that he did have a good secondary, he had Jim Schwartz as his mentor. So I was never a huge fan or proponent of Shane Bowen. coming in, but you always got to give everyone a chance. And now again, we have a new defensive coordinator. I think a lot of fans are expecting this dramatic turnaround that all of a sudden we're going to be the 86 Giants, we're going to be the 85 Bears, because the coaching is going to be different, the game plan is going to be different. What can they expect? What can fans expect coming in to this next game against New England?
I don't know, but I suspect that Charlie Bullen is going to address, how these guys play blocks. I'm assuming he's going to address run fits. Those are the things that you can easily fix and that can make a difference, especially when the game is on the line, making sure guys know where they're supposed to be and how they're supposed to fit. That's, the most you can do at this point. And just emphasize that guys have to be where they're supposed to be, but giving them a plan that will allow your team to have some level of effectiveness. And then just, having your finger on the pulse of the game too, knowing that if there's a process, quote unquote, or game plan for guys to be rotational, the rotation does not apply when the game is on the line. The rotation goes out the window and say, I'm putting my 11 best out there, not putting their backups out there and saying, we're going to hope for the best, because there's a reason there are starters and there are backups, right? The backups aren't as good as the starters. And if you're in a rotation, your starters should be fresh for these moments. That's why you have rotations, right? Even, let's just say with Dexter, and whatever he's dealing with his elbow, if you're rotating him and he's only playing on third downs, then at some point when you in overtime, you got to go to him and say, I need you on first down. Because if nothing else, it's going to change how the offense is going to run their plays, right? Because every time he's not on the field is where they were running.
Yeah.
Right? So if he's on the field, he may not even have to do as much work. He's going to change how they approach that offense. And so these are the things that coaches have to be mindful of. They've got to have their finger on the pulse of the game and what's necessary. That's what coaches are supposed to do. So that piece of it, those three pieces of it are where I think Bullen can immediately impact the game and make a difference.
We got to bring in Big Don from Texas, because he's at one of his many jobs. We're at Honda today, all the way from the stage. I forget. Don, what's up, brother? You got Carl Banks, you got me, and you got the T. And I know you had a question, because the way you work, you got a lot of questions.
Yeah, that face says it all.
What's up, fellas?
What's up, bro?
I'm back in the building. Okay. I got a good one. You're gonna love it. I got a good one for you. Actually, Tim, you're included in this question.
Oh, okay.
So, our beloved GM, do y'all think he takes advice or lets his ear get talked into by our assistant GM at all?
I'm not sure what that means.
I mean, do you think he actually listens or takes advice or takes
is he solely making the decision, Joe Shane, or is he taking input from Mr. Brown as well and the rest of his staff, or is he kind of not going out on a and not going say I'm just going to do it on my own, but just kind of, do you think he's taking input?
Well, I think if you're a defensive coordinator, you're going to tell. If a general manager asks you what your scheme is or what your plan is, you're going to share what your plan is. I don't know if they can give you input if they're not coaching. None of those guys are coaches. They're, executives, player evaluation guys, and they may ask, why aren't we using Abdul Carter in a more impactful way? Or they may say to the coach, I need you to figure out how to get him going. But I don't think they have input into what the scheme should be, more so than, I need the best players to be playing at their best.
Okay, I was just asking because it doesn't make sense to me that you would bring over a guy who was part of the architect, well, not part of the architect, sorry, got to learn underneath the Eagles GM all those years and not try to see what would be on his mind. I mean, we've seen what happened on Hard Knocks. And
Yeah.
it's amazing how we're still seeing how Philadelphia, even through all the turbulence and what's going on, seem to somehow still be on top of the division. It doesn't make sense to me, especially like you said
Well,
earlier
they
with
have
Tyler
better.
evaluation.
Let's be honest. They have better talent than everybody in the
Correct.
division.
Correct.
That makes sense.
But
Howie
but
Roseman does not make coaching decisions. If he was, then Nick Sirianni wouldn't be in front of the press explaining why Saquon Barkley is not as successful, or he's not explaining why the offensive line is not as effective as it was last year. You know, Howie Roseman, he let Mekhi Becton go, and that position has taken a step backwards, right? So I don't think he's telling Nick Sirianni that he's not doing a great job. I mean, he gives him great talent. That's what he's doing. He makes great deals, but I don't think he's a coach.
agreed. And Tim, here's my last one. What college did Brandon Brown go to?
Syracuse.
I'll give you. Nope. No.
I just assumed that you went to. You were from 315, man. I just assumed from you and I'd be Syracuse.
No. It's the college that you're. It's the college that you're supposed to be attending to get your NIL deal.
I forgot. Where was I going?
Biggest liberal arts college. Come on, Tim.
Furman.
Yeah.
Furman.
Yes, sir. That's where he went.
Carl probably doesn't know this, but I have 1 year of eligibility left. So I just figured at 5 years old,
Take the money and run, dog. Take the money and run.
I'm going out of retirement. I'm getting an NIL deal, and I'm going to Furman.
Yeah, get in shape. Get in shape. Look the part. Go out there for a couple series and pull a hamstring, and you got your money.
I am in shape.
That's it.
All right, fellas. I'll catch y'all later. I gotta go close up shop here. It was great talking to you, Carl.
All right, Big Don.
Great talking to you as well.
Please, brother.
I got rapid fire because I got to bring in Mr. Sanders, who's been waiting as well. Mr. Sanders has been waiting all this time to come in and ask his question. I also got OGR Sports, some other people waiting on by. Mr. Sanders, what's going on, my friend?
First off, I want to say thank you for letting me on. Also, good evening, Carl Banks. You're like you're a legend to me in my book. I don't care what anybody says. My question is, Mr. Banks, is there a way that you can please like step in at some capacity to assist this defense in making real decisions?
I'm not coaching, but if they ever need me for anything, I'd be more than happy to help out. But I have no interest in full-time coaching. I got too many other things going on in life that I'm very passionate.
So it would bring.
No, there you go. We lost you there.
Oh no.
Yeah, you're gonna have to call back in here. We're getting a feedback here. I got to bring in this guy because this guy's one of the oldest New York Giants content creators. I think one of the originators and someone that actually stopped doing the show not too long, a couple years ago. That is OGR Sports coming in strong. He's another football or soccer coach, Mr. OGR Sports. What's going on? You're
Big
on
Joe Shane fan, OGR.
Oh yeah. Big Joe Shane fan. Good evening, Carl. Good evening, Tim.
Hi.
Before I get to happy Thanksgiving to everybody, early happy Thanksgiving, because I'm not going to be able to greet half of you tomorrow and say happy Thanksgiving.
Okay.
But anyways, Carl, my quick question is, I want to take it away from the X's and O's. I kind of want to take it away from, and just thank you for doing color for 17 years. First and foremost. And just to keep it lighthearted, what are your two either most disappointing moment or one most disappointing moment and one, moment that surprised you doing color?
Wow. I don't know if I have any disappointing moments because I try to be neutral and just call what I see. When I'm off the air, well, you know what? I'm going to just say this. My most disappointing moment to date in all the years I've been on was Sunday. That had to be the most disappointing. This past Sunday was probably my most disappointing moment. I don't think I've had any surprises other than maybe Sunday when Jameis Winston, catches a halfback pass, a wide receiver pass, breaks a tackle, spins, and gets to the end zone.
Throws the Heisman pose in there, according to Russell. But I just got another follow-up. What made it like this Sunday more disappointing than previous? I mean, if you want to elaborate, go ahead. If not,
no, it's just the fact that my frustration was with the rotation and just not having your best players on the field in the moments that it counted most. And it kind of summed up everything you needed to know about this giant season when they don't read the room, right? And that was disappointing.
Well, I got a question. This is my show.
Yeah, it is. Sorry.
I would like.
I don't want to cut you off, but I got to jump shortly because I have another commitment. Go ahead.
Surely. No, then I want to get my last question, and then you mentioned that last Sunday was one of your other disappointments, or was your disappointment. What was, if you have a disappointment, what was something in this season that made you excited? It made you excited for 2025 is over. It made you excited for 2026, 2027 season.
Yeah, Jackson Dart and Cam Scatterboo. Just the energy that they brought and their unwillingness to accept all the past trauma that has plagued this team. They're like, those are somebody else's problems. We're trying to do something different here. And that's the part that I appreciate about those two young kids. They like, we're not walking into this malaise. We're in here to be change makers,
As always, I don't want to keep you too long. So as always,
Tim, I got one
question. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
All right. So first of all, go blue. I forgot you're a Michigan State guy. I got to get my go blue out there.
Let's go green.
All right. But one thing I wanted to ask you: do you see a trend of too much going forward on fourth downs and not taking the points? Because I think that's trending in the wrong direction now. Like I felt as though the Giants should have kicked the field goal last week.
It cost the Chargers' last coach his job, right? The analytics, they're not on the ground, right? They're not forward thinking. They're backwards looking. But when you feel that you can go for it, or you factor in other things, and if I can just bring up the fourth down situation with the Giants, it was an effort to try to create more than a one-score game because the defense, just cannot hold leads. And so what he wanted to do is look at the clock, how much time was left in the game, and if he could put one more score on the board, it would increase the chances of winning because Detroit would have to go down and score twice. And if the Giants got the ball back, I'm sure he felt that they would be able to run the clock out.
As always, we of course we're here with Carl Banks. We're wrapping up. As like we close out every show, and we're going to stay on as Carl leaves, but as we close out with every show, Carl, we always give the guest the last final thought. It doesn't have to be football oriented. It doesn't have to be anything in general, but always that final thought that's going to lead us into Thanksgiving. And it's going to give us that nice, warm, toasty feeling that the rum's probably not going to give us completely. But what is the final thought going into this Thanksgiving holiday from Carl Banks?
I think my thought is to be thankful for, you guys, the fans, and my ability to interact with you guys, both good and bad, but just to be able to share these types of platforms and to hear fans out. I think fans need a voice, and sometimes it's louder and ruder, but it still exists, and I'm happy that we can all have these types of dialogue.
I think that is the most apropos way. And like I said, we didn't want to keep you for long. We know you have another commitment, so we want to make sure you got a few minutes to do what you need to do before that next commitment. But as always, you are greatly appreciated. You're greatly admired. You are probably, I think you and of course Harry Carson and Lawrence Taylor, in this perspective are probably the names I hear the most within the chats as their most favorite Giants of all time. And like I said, you gave us so many, the whole group especially gave us so many memories for that. And we really do appreciate you coming on and being as involved as you are with Twitter. I would recommend sometimes to back away from Twitter.
I know. I'm a glutton at times, but it's all good.
People say I'm a glutton for punishment. Twitter's a little bit of a cesspool, but that would be my only advice. But like I said, it really is. It is really different that someone such as yourself that has the career, has the pedigree, has done so much not only on the field but off the field as well. That you would literally take time to come in and just not just with us but with everyone else. And it's just fantastic, phenomenal. And like I said, from deep in my heart, I just want to say thank you because, like I said, you gave us my childhood. Like I said, my best childhood memory was meeting you in '87 in January, and I know you knew I was the greatest talent in the world when you met me that day. You already admitted it on the last show, but I was going to make sure I brought that up before you left.
All right, I appreciate you, man.
All right, Carl, thank you so much for coming on again. Okay,
right. Thanks, brother.
All right, thank you, guys.
That, of course, is the legendary Carl Banks.
Hey, Tim.
Yes, sir.
One thing I wanted to say, but I didn't want to piss him off, was this. I still can't believe he didn't tackle Randall Cunningham when he had the straight beam on him. that play, I remember watching. I was like, oh, he's about to kill him. And that Randall's just a special guy.
I was like, Randall Cunningham, we know that play. He took out Randall's legs, and Randall literally went parallel.
Yeah.
And
the hand down.
He came back up, put his hand down, and somehow came back up again.
I couldn't believe that. I couldn't believe that play.
But that was that was a play. That was a play in itself. Not that
I think Randall should be in the Hall of Fame, honestly. I hate the Eagles, but I do think Randall should be in the Hall of Fame.
Well, the question is this: was the gentleman that's just on, should he be in the Hall of Fame?
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Well,
the Giants teams that he was on were one of the best defenses of all time, talent-wise. There's a lot of talent around that Giants team, 86, 91, and he was a leader on it. But it's hard to look outstanding with 56s on the other side too. So, and he was still able to do it.
And this is actually a question I wanted to ask him. I had so many questions I wanted to ask him, but I wanted to make sure everyone else got on. 85 Bears or 86 Giants? Which one was the best defense? Because both of them are ranked in the top 5 of best defenses ever in the NFL history. But just for those one seasons, 85 and 86 for the Bears, of course, and the Giants, who had the best defense?
I'm going to answer that with a question for you, Tim.
Certainly.
Okay. So, based on the scheme that Buddy Ryan played,
yes,
comparing it to what Bill Belichick did with the Giants, if you were to fast forward, let's take it into 2025. Which defense do you think in 2025 would perform better in this NFL? And
it would be the Belichick defense, but the question, that's not the question. The question is, per season, each season, for the 85 season and the 86 season, like I said, they rank these, the NFL history, NFL Films, and NFL.com always ranks these, and both of these I think are in the top 3 of best defenses of all time. But in your opinion, for those single season, which was the best defense?
So, I mean, if you're just taking it one-off single season, because the Bears were so dominant in 85, I have to give it to the Bears. Because 86, yes, we were dominant, but we were a more complete team where the Bears were the defense. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I agree. I agree. I don't want to be biased, but yeah, I agree. The Bears. The way you asked the question is the Bears.
If I had to pick one defense taking it into the future, that's why I wanted to answer the question. I would take the 86 defense because the Bears, I think, were more – people have not solved that scheme yet. You know what I'm saying?
And what's funny though, because I'm a big fan of the 46 zone. I like the architecture of it, and the Bears had the people to play it. But here's the thing, though. I still think it's the 86 Giants that had the best defense because the Bears gave up 28 to Tampa, 24 to the Vikings, 38 to the Dolphins in that loss. They gave up, and still gave up 19 points to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers when I think it was in week 5 or 6. So there were times that they had, the Bears defense had issues. I think the Giant defense was more consistent throughout the season, and just the Bears defense alone was dominant. But if you ran into a quarterback who had some mobility and had the understanding of how to play the rush, that's how the 85 Bears and the 46 zone went downhill, because they figured out this. You know what? You're rushing 7, 8, 9 guys. Somebody's open. So I'm keeping a guy in the flat. And that's kind of what Miami did when they put up 38 points on Monday Night Football on that defense. So if I had to personally choose, I actually would go with the 86 Giants.
You did personally choose.
I know. That's my job, motherfuckers. That's what to be here for.
I should have asked him who was his favorite quarterback to sack. Who did he like beating?
I was going to say he didn't have
a Dallas hater or Eagles hater.
Well, do you want me to answer it for you?
Go for it.
My favorite quarterback to sack is Randall Cunningham.
Yeah. When you can get that son, it's down.
Yeah, I was gonna say that was the issue alone, but I'm like I said, I'm glad that he could come on for an hour. So that was fantastic of Mr. Banks. And as always, we forgot the mighty FanDuel.com, FanDuel.com, number one sportsbook in America. Make sure you go out there right now. What do you guys think the line is on FanDuel for the Monday Night Football game against the New England Patriots in New England? It was 10. Well, let me finish. It was 10.5 last week. Now we are going into New England with Mike Vrabel, riding high, running hot. So you're going to say you're going to say 8?
8.
Oh, Gio, what do you got? What do you think?
I'm going to say 8.5.
Ooh, guys are close. $1. 7.5.
That's not surprising.
7.5 points. I actually thought it was going to be higher because you know why? Because new customers, if you bet $5, you get $150 in bonus bets if you win. Look out for those parlays. Make sure you go there, play the slot machines. Make sure you go there, do the fantasy, the race book, all your betting and promotions on the MattyFanDuel.com. That's FanDuel.com, the number one sports book in America.
I think the reason that line moved is because of the Patriots' injuries and the fact that Giants can't put up points.
Well, I kind of thought that as well. And yes, Big Don, I did see the guest memberships. I also want to thank what you gave out. I also want to thank Trenton. Trenton dropped in a super chat as well. I knew I got a chance to put up on the screen, but I didn't get a chance to ask Carl about it. It says, Tim, Mr. Banks, what's up? You're one of my dad's favorite players. Over my bird share Plato, like they fired Bowen Lowe. Do you guys think it's going to be any different with the new defensive coordinator? I have concerns that this guy's never been a defensive coordinator. He's really never been anything outside of linebacker coach, and we're giving him this shot. And I know there was not a plethora of talent within the coaching ranks because no one on the coaching ranks has been a defensive coordinator. So why do you think they went with this guy that's only, I think, 2 years? Is he 2 years older than Joe Shane? So it's not like this is I don't know. I was just kind of surprised.
There was hubbub that he wasn't the first to be asked, and there was hubbub that other guys had turned down the position.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know how true that is or not. That's just the hubbub I hear. I don't know if that's factual or whatnot. I have nothing to corroborate that. I would point that out.
Yeah, because I was kind of curious about that. It was, Andre Patterson's been around longer, and didn't this guy come in with the guy we just fucking fired? Didn't he come in with Shane Bowen? Uh-oh. There he is. He's back. Didn't he come in with Shane Bowen?
Yes, he did.
Okay, so I was right about that, but I don't know.
But no, isn't there someone that had experience briefly, like in Atlanta, as a DC on this defense? I'm trying to think.
I don't think so. I don't remember. That's why I asked, because I don't remember if we had.
I heard a bunch of stuff, but I just.
Can we do worse? I don't think so.
Sure, we can.
Rehire Shane Bowen.
Rehire
Hold
Shane.
my beer.
My issue with this guy is, and like I said, if you have an astute offensive coordinator and you have a rookie defensive coordinator, if the only thing that I think that the rookie defensive coordinator can do is just be totally different from what the previous game plans were. So in other words, what the first 12 weeks they have film on, he just goes rogue and goes totally different. If not, if he plays it safe, I don't know. That's I have a lot. We're 2-10. It's really fucking matter.
I mean, no matter what happens, we're not making the playoffs. So.
Right.
The only thing I need to see is if the win's coming at 3, because I said we'll be between 3 and 5. 5 is like a gift, but I definitely had us down for 3 wins this season. So we'll see how right I am.
For a second, can I roll back to my question to Carl Banks?
Sure.
And he kind of like elaborated how his disappointment with Shane Bone was the fact that he did a little too much rotation at times at the end of games, which it seems like Carl thought that's what costed us. Not the only reason, but a big reason. And that might have, led to Bowen's demise. I mean, giving up so many fourth quarter leads as a defensive coordinator, yes, that's going to lead to your demise regardless. But I just thought that was funny.
My question always has been with the giving up all the leads. Yes, it's atrocious. Yes, it shouldn't happen. But you don't give up the lead, or you don't have these issues, especially in the fourth quarter, if your offense stays on the field a little longer.
I agree.
And I think we put all this onus on Shane Bowen, but how many 3-and-outs did we have in Denver in the fourth quarter? How many 3-and-outs did we have in Detroit? How many 3-and-outs did we have, in Dallas, and especially in that in those fourth quarters in critical crunch time? And yes, you should never give up 33 points in the fourth quarter. That's like,
a lot of those losses too. I felt that Dable played not to lose instead of trying to win the game.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And
I think all of them did that.
That goes into it too. Yes, the offense should stay on the field, but you should be playing to win the game instead of trying not to lose. Especially in the Denver game, that was completely atrocious.
You guys didn't hit the like button. I forgot to say hit the like button. Hit the like button. Some people are telling me, hit the like button. I don't know, guys. What are the Knicks doing? I know the Knicks are playing. I was trying to watch the game. I was 72-47. Okay, we're not even in the we still got a couple minutes. No, I think we just closed out it's going into the halftime now. So the Knicks are almost up by 30. Okay, that's good. Okay.
You're fine.
You gotta love that.
I was trying to talk to Carl and watch the Knicks game at the same time.
Well, my messages probably didn't help any better. I can't get in.
Oh no, you weren't the only one. There was some kind of issue with StreamYard again. So I don't know.
There go James.
It doesn't matter.
You're right, man.
I'm trying. He texted me, James. I put the link in the chat so you can say hello because since we ended early, I'm gonna take the wife out.
Where you headed to?
I don't know. We were at Peddler's Village again yesterday.
Did you?
Yeah.
Load up on some wine?
She did. There he is. We missed you, brother.
Yeah, I had to take care of the kitties.
You had to work.
Hey, James, this weekend, go blue.
Oh, I'm not talking to you. I don't even know what you said. What are you speaking Chinese? Is that Mandarin?
Is that
Mandarin? All I heard was scarlet and gray.
You heard me. You heard me.
No, Lex, did you say something? Oh, Lex is speaking Chinese. That's who's speaking Chinese. It's Lex.
Oh, no.
Oh, my God.
Oh, my goodness gracious. I wanted to get to a couple of these real quick here. Let's see. D. Coop says, hey, what's up, Tim? Maybe one day we will have a NFL roster. I don't know about that. Three Amigos, of course, by James Wings. What's up, Tim? Happy holidays with NFL roster. We got that one. Let's see here. Anyone got anything to say? Oh, here we go. It says, thank you so much, Carl, for doing this. Thank you, Tim, for having me. I loved all you guys. I'm going to cry when this season is over because Online Big Blue is moving on. Thank you so much. I can go out in peace now.
I'm finally putting a petition up for us to have another draft show.
Well, I think we'll do a draft show.
Well, yeah, we got to do a draft show.
I think we'll have the group here as always and do another draft show because I think that is I think that.
Oh, you are good. Draft show? Okay.
Yeah, we got to do a draft. I mean, draft.
We always had so much fun with the draft. We had so much fun leading up to it. So much fun draft night. Always a good time.
Yeah,
well,
I mean,
until they pick, it's always a good time.
I was gonna say.
We're always having a good time till the pick comes in.
Right up until the New York Giants are on the clock.
Select Darius Toney.
So Tim,
Hey,
if you're gonna do,
if they don't trade down this year, I'm gonna be highly upset.
Yeah.
Well, you're gonna be highly upset.
You're gonna be highly upset.
I'm saying you're gonna be highly upset.
Joe Shane's sitting there going, "Wow, we're sitting here at 2. There's this punter out of Santa Fe State I really like.
We need a long snapper. That's what we need.
What about Brian Burns?
Oh my god!
You can't mess up pick 2. You can't mess it up.
And Carl Banks was talking about that earlier when he was talking about, you got to talk to your defensive coordinator about what he wants. I was like, yeah, Joe Shane did that shit. He didn't get Shane Bowen anything he wanted. He didn't get Shane.
Who brought up Hard Knocks? Was it Don that brought up Hard Knocks?
Yeah, Don brought up.
Yeah.
Because Don brought up Hard Knocks. It was like, well, we kind of saw it on Hard Knocks.
It was disgusting. And to lose, my thing is, the wins and losses, like Carl Banks is talking about, it looks bad on them, but there are other things. Those other things look bad too. Yeah. Losing 2 Pro Bowl players and getting absolutely nothing for them is horrendous. And the cap space, it's still trash. He took it over, it was bad. It's still bad.
It's probably worse.
And with us looking for a new coach, new offensive coordinator, new defensive coordinator, looking for a whole staff, people don't feel good under that because it's like I'm coming to a GM who might be gone and might sign another person anyway. People are going to be looking for more stable homes.
Yeah.
I think Joe Shane in this hunt hurts the hunt.
Oh, for sure. And he's going to want to hire a yes man, for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
You mean like Mike Kafka?
He's going to do what Dave Gettleman did after Pat Shermer was fired. What did he do and did for Joe Judge? He went out and spent. He is going to backload every contract he can, open up as much cap space as possible, and send us into the doldrums if we're not already there cap-wise for the next 3-4 years. So the next GM is going to be handicapped because he's going to be under pressure to win and win now with a second-year quarterback with a brand new head coach and a brand new scheme potentially. This is just a disaster. I cannot stand this team making the same mistake. You need to fire the GM. I'm sorry.
Where was that energy when Carl was on?
I didn't.
I was waiting for you. I was waiting for it.
No, we don't want to put him in a bad spot.
He can
it'd be all right.
When he was on, there was so much mudslinging going on. The guy has seen it all, heard it all. I just wanted to keep it upbeat. Sorry. I didn't want to be the evil genius for once.
Listen. I even said it to Carl Banks. You're depressing the shit out of me. I literally told him that, James. I almost told him I think I want to go jump off a bridge. It was the first 15 minutes.
What's wrong? Carl came in here. He was what happened, T. Brad? What happened? Carl came in here. He was speaking the gospel, or he was quiet.
Carl was answering every question, very PC, very informational, but very PC. I basically put it out there about Joe Shane, and he didn't give anything to, dig in on. I'm not for or against him being. It's a very PC answer. This guy's been media trained, so
not like some of our players.
Yeah, you're not gonna back him into a corner with a tricky question that he hasn't heard before. And him being with the organization, he probably hears fucking fire Joe Shane everywhere he goes.
I'm willing to bet that based off his last couple posts and streams with Bob Papa, that he got a phone call from the Mara household. And they probably told him, you need to tone that down because he's been going off. So you telling me he came on here and he was very PC? That tells me he got a little email from somewhere.
I wouldn't say he was PC. I think he was diplomatic, but he did answer. he did answer all the questions, and he did give his perspective on it. And like I said,
okay,
he did call out the linebackers for lack of effort. Which,
well, I mean, I would hope so.
Which I thought was, and he broke down the play with the lack of effort and how they, how they couldn't seem to disengage from their blocks, to stop
like Jalen Hurts blocking Kayvon Thibodeau, like that.
No, that is always a myth. Why do you keep bringing that up? That never happened. It didn't. Ask any Giant fan. There's no film on that anywhere to be found.
That is a great shot. That is a great look at Devontae looking at him like, oh wow, he's really blocking that guy.
That's exactly like you can't see him under the mask. Like shit, what's fucking going on there?
Yeah,
Big Don, Big Don. Are you butt dialing us?
Did you get kidnapped?
What is going on here?
If you're being kidnapped and you need help, wave a black flag.
Are you being up to the mothership?
Are you being abducted? Are you in the trunk of a Chevy right now?
Are those aliens?
Oh,
Honda, not Chevy. He works for Honda.
Honda. Sorry.
I want to bring up a quick subject matter. You know who scares the living bejesus out of me? Cam Scatterboot. What is this boy doing? Like, stay home, nurse your injury, and be a normal human being. Like, holy moly. He's not right. I understand he's a young kid with, a decent amount of money, but goddamn, does he seem just more crazy than most?
Wait, hold on. The aliens are back.
Oh, boy.
The aliens are back.
Yes, they are.
Is that an alien?
See.
What the hell are you showing us? What's this black flag?
Exactly. Are you
okay, brother? Do you need some assistance?
You need some help?
No, I'm currently driving and I have you in my ears.
Oh, copy.
Wait, he's got the phone in his ears? So
I'm just
that's your eardrums?
Yeah. Well, usually you hear that bad echo because I have you going through my speakers, but I have you in my earbuds, so it's way better.
If you say so.
You know what, Tim? What threw me off is when I was talking about Brandon Brown and he kept talking about coaches, he was throwing me off completely. I was like, wait, huh? What are we talking about? I thought we were talking about GMs.
We were actually talking about you a minute ago, just saying you brought up the Hard Knocks thing. That from what we saw on Hard Knocks, it doesn't look like Joe Shane takes any influence from his coaching staff.
Oh no, he's definitely rogue. Oh, what do you mean? Oh, nobody's gonna pay Saquon, right? Anybody that has money? Nah, I don't think that's gonna happen.
Well,
okay, bro.
Chicago's driving up the price, and Philadelphia's out.
Philadelphia's out. The Bears are driving up the price.
Bears are driving up the price.
Did anybody ask him why Carter is so non-visual?
He said it was coach. We got to bring in the philosopher too, while we're also here. We got the philosopher, we got T-Brad, we got OGR, we got James Williams, and we got Big Don P. He did ask him about Abdul. I did ask him about Abdul Carter and what they can do to get him started. And then
did he give any good insight as to? Okay, copy. Just checking. I just wanted to check. Thank you.
Sorry, that Ghost Rider. The pattern is full.
The pattern is.
Yo, Tim, did anybody ask him about the signing of Russell Wilson versus the signing of Jameis Winston?
No, we didn't get into that far. We got bogged down on the defensive collapses and this last fiasco of a game.
Yeah,
which one? It was still many.
Yeah, he was pretty open.
The one when we blew the lead in the fourth quarter. There's
which
a hint.
Oh, that's only a few of them. That's fine. It's only a few of those games.
I did find it interesting when OGR asked, or when I forgot who asked. Was OGR about what was his deepest regret or the thing that bothered them the most this season. And I thought he was going to say giving up the 33 points, in the fourth quarter to Denver, but he picked last week's game as his, as what's depressed him most about this season.
No, I said period in the last.
Period. That's right. Period. That's right.
He picked the thing. I mean, when we were talking to him, he looked like a defeated man. Like he was PC and he was, diplomatic, but he looked like he was exhausted. Like he was,
Yeah, he looked tired. Yep, I agree. So tired.
This season's definitely taking a toll on him.
Well, that's why I told him. That's why I told him directly. I said, Carl, you're depressing the shit out of me.
Yeah, and I'm not gonna lie. I was like, I'm not feeling very bubbly right now.
I know. What happened to Carl in June?
We killed him.
He disappeared in the first week of October.
We killed him. That guy is gone.
We killed Carl in June. But yeah, no, it was everyone that didn't see it, go back and watch it. It'll be posted on the podcast probably, I don't know when.
I'm still disappointed in you, Tim. I'm still so disappointed in you that you didn't get my reference when I first stated a college for your NIL, and you were like,
honestly,
which one was it?
I was tired. I was out late last night with I was out late last night with the missus. You sang happy birthday to her.
Whoa, don't let anybody know about my great singing voice. I'm gonna have me sing happy birthday all the time now.
Oh, there's Don. I see him now. He's back in the alien.
Those are just lights from stoplights, because I forgot that everybody and their mama is leaving DFW right now to go to their families. So
that is true.
It is the day before Thanksgiving
right now. Yeah, you don't want to be on the roads now.
Yeah, that's why I'm home.
I'm like 2 minutes away. Thank goodness I'm in suburbia.
You gotta look. Has anyone got any questions or anything going on?
Yo, I'm gonna ask y'all a question really quick.
Cam Scadaboo's mental health in this.
Oh, wait, we didn't answer the Cam Scadaboo mental health question. Yeah, I think he's a fucking nut. He's drinking,
he's done for.
He's drinking Gatorade or whatever the fuck out of a shoe.
Where's your iPad?
What in the world?
My iPad is in the corner underneath the drawer next to the KY. I mean, sorry.
Whoa.
Sugar nuggets. What?
But something's fucking wrong with him. I mean, there's literally something. There is a difference between being eccentric and being, like Jameis Winston. Jameis Winston is unique.
He is.
I, as a player, was referred to as unique because I was kind of out there a little bit. I was always having a good time. So what he does is fucking mental health issues or something, or he banged his head too many times because.
Can we say CTE? I mean,
yeah. Well, I really can't because I always forget the E. But yeah, I mean, but yeah.
Oh my gosh.
There's something. I don't know. He needs. And then for him, I think I was talking to you about it when he goes, oh yeah, they could give me $10 billion.
Oh yes.
And I would never go anyplace else.
Yes.
This is where I'm supposed to. I'm like, you're a fucking idiot. You would leave.
Listen, no offense to our brother Tim and Lex, but I love when white guys say that because that day is going to come. Somebody's going to put some money on the table. He's going to go, well, guys, I did all I could do here in New Jersey.
Okay, good.
I put my blood, sweat, and tears out here. I got to take care of my family now.
Good example. Everyone knows I'm leaving. Great example is this. So I'm always talking, I'm leaving, I'm going, I'm out. And I was talking to someone on the phone yesterday and an email popped up and it said, deposit believe. So I was like, oh, let me open this up. And then I saw what the deposit was and I was like, maybe I could stay.
Oh, see? Aha!
Maybe I stay a little longer. Maybe the Giants at 2-10 aren't that bad. Maybe I'm just negative.
James,
I can't wait till that day comes where the contract negotiations come and we can. That's the beautifulest thing about social media. I really don't like it, but the best thing is everything is recorded. Every time these idiots post something, every time they say something, it's like Hard Knocks for life. It's your own hard knocks. This guy put up this post. I'm supposed to be here until somebody gives me more money.
Now I'm going someplace else.
Then I'm going wherever that is.
You're wrong about Cam Scatterboot getting a second contract. He won't, because he's not going to make it to his second contract. Because
Lex has already put the dagger. He's not even gonna make it.
He's not getting a contract.
That's what I said when we drafted him. I said I like his enthusiasm, but he's too small to play the ball, play the way he's playing.
Yep.
And if they want to make him our lead back, then we're the idiots.
Yeah, he's gonna be working at Honda.
Yeah.
Oh, is he now?
I was waiting for you. But Mr. Philosopher, though, I thought you had a question. I'm sorry, interrupted you.
Yeah. So I got a question for all of y'all. We're 2-10. Team is well, there's no nice word for it, but if you could pick now, this is assuming that Jackson Dart is our franchise quarterback, okay? Because I know not everybody might agree with that, which is cool. I don't, you know what I mean? Keep evaluating. But what kind of player could make us make a monumental jump if Jackson Dart is supposed to be our franchise player next year?
Well, let me think about that. Well, if we brought back Jesus, I think we might be good. I think he can do something and make people better. But it's gonna be a fucking miracle.
No, you know what, Tim? I'm going to answer that one better. I have a plan in mind, and I'm going to go the opposite direction. If we sell our soul to the devil,
oh God, Lex. Oh my God, Lex.
That much. I don't love football.
Oh my God, Lex.
Hey.
I don't love football that much.
You brought Lucifer into this? Jesus.
Wrong. No, Jesus. He went the opposite way.
My God, Lex. That's why you're Lex.
No, only way to survive selling your soul to the devil is if you had Ralph Macchio play them in a guitar battle at the end for your soul back.
And of course,
Crossroads. That's the movie of the 80s. Crossroads.
When he was, but he was very convincing as a blues guitar player. He actually practiced.
Yeah, that was a very good movie.
I wouldn't go crazy. But is there one player that could change the complexion of the Giants organization?
Yeah, Myles Garrett, but he's not coming here.
Not even Myles Garrett. There are so many things that are wrong. And I don't think changing out the coordinator to what Carl thinks is going to change, because like I asked him, I said, you got a guy that's linebackers, aren't that great. And then he brought up the fact about Brian Burns and Kayvon Thibodeau. And I was like, well, they really play defensive end more than they play linebacker. So, but this is the guy with no experience that's going to come in and teach the guys that he's already teaching that don't really play that well anyways. And saying that Brian Burns is better than he was before is like saying Josh Allen was better when Brian Dable was there. No, certain players you don't need to coach. Certain players are great on their own. So, is there a guy? I can't think of someone that would really. You have a dominant offensive lineman. Your offensive line plays much better when he's there. You have a star wide receiver, and you don't want to take away what he does best by putting in, like a T. Higgins or a guy that's going to be a 1A, 1B. If anything, if you could find a truly, and I mean truly LT dominant outside linebacker, that's the only thing I could think that the Giants could do to find one guy to help them move from a 2-win team to, let's say, a 9-win team.
I can dig that.
So Myles Garrett.
No, Myles Garrett is more of a defensive end. I'm talking an LT. I'm talking a guy that's not only going to rush the passer and be a disruptor, but is going to play the run.
Yes. Okay.
Tim's saying he wants Arvell Reese from Ohio State.
Excuse me. You watch your mouth, brother. My good brother. We'll be enemies in a couple hours.
We are.
Few hours.
We already are.
You just didn't know it. I hated you.
Yeah, it's already started.
I can see that.
Yeah, but I think, just answering the question, I don't think we're one with TJ Watt. Yeah, I don't think we're one player away, but to be precise on how we going to bring Dart along, you got to get it. We got to improve the overall receiving core. The offensive line, as bad as it's been okay this year. It's been respectable this year. So we got to give him options to throw the ball to. There's some good wide receivers there. You got Cardinal Tate from the University of Ohio State. You got Tiller from
Fix your
Arizona
verbiage.
State. And then you got another guy out of Washington I like. There's a couple of good wide receivers, but do you go wide receiver with a top 5 pick? Nah, I think you play it safe and get somebody for the line or the defense and get a wide receiver later. But definitely trade back, in my opinion, and get as much draft capital as we can, because the next year's that draft is going to be crazy.
Mr. Finesse wants to know where's Banks. He got depressed and had to leave. Carl Banks got very. Watch the first 15 minutes, because even I was like, damn. People say, like, what the fuck, man?
Damn.
I was like, can we get Gary Reasons on? Because maybe it's gonna be a little nice. Maybe it's gonna be a little happier.
I got a question, Tim, because this question is a repeat question. But was anybody in this chat right here, us 5, was any of us disappointed with the Giants season, or were you expected more? Because the team's playing right on beam.
I said 3 to 5 wins. So I think now it's going to be closer to 3. I thought a couple weeks ago it was going to be closer to 5. Now I think it's going to be 3. But no, I get upset because the way that we lose is just so demoralizing. I get upset that way, but I don't get upset that we're 2-10, because I said that Brian Daboll was going to be fired before Thanksgiving.
Correct.
I'm just mad about the Dallas game. We should have won that one. That was the only one I cared about. And we actually should have won, and we coughed it up. So, but other than that, everything is on par.
I'd rather be Philly than Dallas. I'd rather be Philly than Dallas.
Philly than Dallas?
Yeah.
I hate Philly. I hate Philly more than I hate Dallas by a long shot.
I know, but we haven't really beaten Dak Prescott at all. So
they haven't won anything either. So
I know, but we've never beaten that guy, and he's in our division, and we play him twice a year. That's kind of weird.
Well, you might be able to play spoiler at the end of the year. I mean,
stop, Lex, because I had to argue my boy down about that. I said, you think this team, who's given up 5 fourth-quarter leads, is going to muster together on the last game of the year to stop Dallas? I'll make a bet with you right now, Lex. If we're in that position, we're going to lose, and they're going to get in the playoffs. And that will get Joe Shane fired.
I'll counter your bet.
I like that scenario.
Bet as the season draws near and everybody's really excited for that possibly number 1 pick or number 2 pick, the Giants drop right out of the top 10. Because they find a way to screw you one way or another.
Philosophers sitting there like, yeah,
we're all thinking the same thing. Top 5 pick. And guess what?
9.
Yeah.
I would say I was disappointed this year by the defense, because I've never, well, I don't want to say never, but I've hardly seen a defense so crippling that just destroys a team. Like, we have no hope with this defense. It's pathetic. The offense has actually been surprisingly pretty good. I was like, oh shit, we scoring points, but we can't stop nobody.
Isn't that amazing? We lost our number 1 receiver, our secondary cheerleader running back, and the offense is still scoring 20-something points a game. But this defense just, there's no words for it.
We got the Prince of Pressures on defense.
Oh, that's right. That was a good one. Yes, you said, yes. Yes. The
Vegeta of pressures.
Yeah, I've seen him get pressures and the quarterback throw for a first down, and I'm like, yeah, they're going to count that as a pressure right there. He threw for a first down. Like, what are we counting?
I think we should ask the 90 people still watching, who thinks Carl Banks should get off X? just take like a week off.
Oh, you didn't say that? That was the only thing I wanted to say to him. I was like, brother, please take a break.
James, I did.
Oh, okay. Thank you, man. Thank you.
But seriously, who thinks he just needs to, like, I don't know, go to Europe for a week again? I mean, just get off X. I mean, it's because I think that's causing his depression.
Just get off of social media, period.
Well, no, you take a week.
That's what a lot of athletes are starting to do now. Get off of social media, period. Because they're just you're going to get overwhelming negative than you would positive. If you're looking for positivity out of social media, it's not happening.
Nah, but he goes way too deep. Like Tim and I talk about. Carl Banks will sit up there and respond to everything. Like, I don't know if he works for the Giants for social, but it's like some of the stuff. I'll even add him and be like, "Did you respond to that? Don't respond to that, Carl. What are you doing? Stop that."
I don't mean to interrupt, guys, but everybody have a happy Thanksgiving. I got to step away. So thanks for bringing me on, Tim.
Jeff, you're welcome.
Appreciate Thanksgiving, brother.
Happy Thanksgiving, my friend.
Have a Thanksgiving.
But I was actually a little worried for Carl there. I have to admit, James, you got to watch the first 15 minutes because.
Oh, I am. I got my thing ready before I go help her. I can't wait to watch it.
Because Blackbird's point, Carl is depressed. I was literally like, this isn't the same guy that was here in June.
Wow.
And I'm not trying to say that in a derogatory manner because anyone that comes on this show twice, deserves a medal. Because this is this, but he really did, and I was surprised about how he did talk about the linebackers not getting it, not putting in the effort. But then he kind of, then when I brought up the fact that you basically promoted one of the linebacker coaches to your defensive coordinator position, so I don't know what people are going to expect from this guy being the first time DC against a pretty good New England offense in New England.
Well, according to ESPN, they have the MVP in Drake May, and it's on national TV. So odds are we'll score. This is what's going to happen. We're going to score on our first drive because we love to do that. Then we won't score again probably till the third quarter. Then somehow we'll take a 3-point lead in the fourth quarter, and then they'll run off 17 straight.
Then we'll lose by 23.
I think Travion Henderson is going to have a big day, starting him in fantasy football.
I would.
That'd be a good move.
Yeah, even though he came from University of Ohio stinks.
We just put out the pros over here.
And the host.
Like a factory in Colombia.
Philosopher, what's that picture in the back?
Oh man, I got this rare art piece. It's I'll show you right now, man. It's Michael Jordan with some like paint and shit.
Oh, okay.
I'm trying to like back it up. But there's only like
you mean the GOAT of basketball?
They're the only GOAT of basketball.
Yes, thank you.
I thought that was Jordan, but I wasn't sure.
Yeah, there's like 2 or 3 of these in the world, and I got it at this random rug shop. It was hella dope. I had to buy it. It was like $1,000, and art is one of the best investments out there. So I was like, why not?
So there's only.
Oh God! Don't let somebody hear you in the kitchen over here say that.
There's only 2 or 3 of those.
Yeah, there's like literally 2 or 3 of those in the world. And the guy was like, "Oh yeah, I'll give it to you for like $1,000." I'm like, "What? Sure, why not?"
Where do you live? What's your address? And when you're not going to be home?
You know what though? I'll tell you,
I'm based on my wall over here.
I am in LA. I will give you that. I'm in LA. So if you ever go to a random rug shop, just look out for some Michael Jordan paintings. You never know. It's 2 more.
Hold on, brother. We love you here. So I just got to say this because that sounds like some New York scam. You sure he didn't go in the back and have about 50 more of them pictures in the back there? There's only 2 of these. There's only 2 of these.
1 or 2.
I think he told the truth because I bought more than just the painting. So if I just got the painting, I think he'd be lying. But I got a rug too. So he was like, all right.
He's like, oh, he bought a rug. I'll sell him the painting for $1,000.
He forgot. The philosopher forgot to tell you. It's one of those rug stores like we have here in Jersey that's always going out of business for 38 years.
Man. It's funny. No, this one's been around for since 1945 or it was crazy, man. This guy, it's in Melrose. It's like off Melrose. So if you ever go to LA shopping off Melrose, you'll find it's not as good as Soho in New York, but it's a little, 2 notches down. 2 notches down.
2 notches down. I like that. That's a
Copy.
that's a nice.
You
piece
from
there.
LA, brother?
I'm from all over the world, man. I was born in Germany. My parents were in the military. I had a father who was a drill sergeant, a mother who was in the stockade. So
maybe we should
grew
make
up-
him our defensive coordinator. You sound like you got some experience.
Why was the mom in the stockade?
Well, I don't know. They just shit. I wasn't born yet.
I know, but you must be good up. Listen, if my mom was in jail, I would probably ask her, "Hey, Mom, what the fuck did you do?"
Oh wait, if I said stockade, then that was the wrong term. She was. I don't know. She was a sergeant.
I
she was
thought
like
she
a
was
different type of sergeant.
When you said stockade, I just assumed she was a correct.
Or like military
That's what I
police.
assumed, yeah.
Nah, I got her
assumed she
mixed
was
up with
correctional
the people that are in charge of like stocking supplies, and I don't know what you call them though. I forgot what you call them.
Well, it depends on what branch you're, because a lot of people call them logistics.
Okay. She was in logistics, and I didn't get to America till I was about 10 years old. And when I got out here, we moved to LA. I moved around LA a lot, so I'm just a nomad, man. But mostly
How'd you become a fan of this sorry ass team?
Oh man, this is a great story. So so I didn't really care about football growing up until like when I was like right around college, 17, 18. I was a big basketball fan growing up. I was a big Kobe fan, huge Kobe fan, big Laker fan.
Let's go Lakers.
But the NBA just got so soft, and it's all about drama now. It's not even about basketball anymore. It's about headlines. So I slowly weaned off the basketball and I started watching football. And this is around the time of New England, Tom Brady, yada, yada, yada. So I'm hearing all this stuff, and I already hated all New England teams. I hate all New England teams. Like, even if they got a badminton team, screw them. But, I was like, man, these guys are going to go undefeated and win the Super Bowl. And then I see the Giants, and mind you, I paid attention to their season. I don't even know why, for some reason, the whole season. And I'm like, I think they're going to beat them for some reason. So I was like, you know what? I made a deal, unfortunately, with the devil. I didn't even know I did. I said, if they win, I'll be a New York Giants fan for life. Here I am.
There you go. Evidently, Mr. Finesse went back and watched. He says, Carl sounds down and out. Giants done beat Carl down.
It's hard.
I feel like we need to buy Carl a present.
It's hard.
Listen, I'm telling y'all right now, if you go and watch the Believe streams from the last couple weeks, Carl is letting it fly.
No, but James, you got to go and watch this. I mean, I've watched clips of the Believe stream, but you have to go and watch the first 15 minutes. Because I thought at one point in time we were going to have an intervention.
I'm telling you, I just think he got that phone call that was like, hey, man, you got to stop dropping F-bombs on the team that's paying you. You got to stop.
No, I just think to Mr. Finesse's point, I think he's just kind of reached a point where, 18, 19 years he's been the announcer, the color guy for the Giants and for the radio, and you get the same questions probably over and over again that you got an answer, and then you kind of snap a little bit, and then people get on your ass, and it's like, I know it's your job, but sometimes at your job, if you can run into being a little depressed about having to go every day to watch the same shit or do the same thing over and over again and get the same results.
Well, like you said, he needs to stay off Twitter.
It's hard to be excited about this team, man.
It is
2-10.
It really is. I mean, and you have to go into work every day. And like I said, I give him all the credit in the world that he came on here again, because I give anyone credit for coming on here, but he came on again after the week that the Giants had, and kind of the week that to James's point, kind of the week that Carl had, in reference to some of the things that he said and some of the things that are going on Twitter. It's, that's just got to wear on you.
I found it interesting what he said about Joe Shane, though. It sounds like, from what he's saying, it sounds like the door might be open to him getting kicked out.
Hopefully.
I don't think he's getting kicked out. I think he's gonna stay.
Could you?
Hey guys, listen. let me just be the Grinch, the Black Grinch right now. Joe Shane's going to stay because Tim's source has never been wrong yet.
He hasn't been wrong
Joe
yet.
Shane's going to stay. And chances are, I love you too, T-Brad, with all my heart and soul. Love you double. And chances are, Squints is probably going to be here next year.
That's what scares the hell out of me.
Well, then be scared.
They'll win like the last 3 games.
You don't know who Squints? The guy with the play sheet who's always doing like this.
Oh boy,
Squints from Sandlot.
Oh, I know who Squints from Sandlot is. I'm like, who the hell is he calling Squints? That's Kafka.
That's Kafka.
Oh boys. L7 Weenie.
Did that trick play work?
All I'm gonna say is this. I'm gonna do this one more time for everyone out there. Our starting linebacker, Green Bay.
T-Brad is bigger than T-Brad is bigger than him.
Our starting linebacker. Stop or I'm gonna slap you. Our starting linebacker. Their starting linebacker. There is something fundamentally wrong there.
Why does he look out of shape? No, seriously. Why does he look out of shape? Look at he looks look at his arms. You gonna tell me that guy hits the weights? Are you serious?
No, he's sleeping.
He's eyeing the next pressure. He's
sleeping. This guy.
My God.
Gets sacks.
Oh my! I mean, that guy's fresh out of college. He should be like in his prime. Look at that.
Jesus.
It's like he took 2 years off and then said, I'm gonna go pro.
Wasn't he with Scatterbo at the wrestling thing? He was with Scatterbo at the wrestling thing.
I told him I thought it was Danny Tartable, the ex-Yankee. I was like, why is Cam Scatterbo with Danny Tartable?
Danny Terrio.
Yeah, Danny Terrio would have been better because at least he could move.
Oh my God!
Sack the quarterback. And
that guy, he looks out of shape.
I don't know if you guys saw this, but Jackson Dart, which I thought was kind of weird, redecorated his house, and he was posting some shit on Twitter about it. So I don't know why he decided to.
Oh my God!
I'm not sure why.
Does he have a no entering sign for Brian Dable?
Well, he has it now because Brian Dable can't enter the stadium.
Jesus.
Oh my!
Hey, fellas, I gotta get going, man. I just wanted to say happy. I don't call it Thanksgiving. I call it Family Food and Friends Day, man. So happy Triple F Day to y'all.
All right, bro. Appreciate it.
All right, man. Have a good one.
Day to you, my friend.
Yeah, come back and tell us about Germany. I've always heard great things.
Why does everyone? No one ever wants to come back here. I wonder why.
I've always heard Germany was the bomb.
Mm-hmm.
I heard it was really nice.
Well, I don't.
I've actually heard that too from my godfather. He used to fly over there.
Yeah. Anybody in the military like, yo, Germany was so lit. The people are nice. I was like, Germany? Yep.
Cam Scatterbo headbutted a chair. No wonder he dropped all the way to the floor. When did he headbutt a chair? Carl Banks can't bite the hand that feeds him. You can't expect that from him. No, he. I don't think he. No, Blackbird. No, Kobe's not the GOAT. I actually would put Kobe above LeBron, but I'm there's only one GOAT.
Yeah, there's only one guy, and I hate him, but there's only one.
His name is Reggie. Yeah, Lewis Scott.
Lewis Scott, man, that's right. Lewis Scott had that big game, of course, in that Game 7 in Boston when he finally decided to learn how to pass the ball. But of course, you know what? The Jazz took that game in 7 in Boston. We all know that.
There's nobody better than Lewis Scott. Not a person.
But no. I would go. See, this is the thing, though. I would have to see. My thing is, I would still have to go. I still go Jordan. But then I go old school. I go Bill Russell, and then I'd probably go Kobe, and then maybe somewhere, but the other problem is everyone forgets how great Wilt Chamberlain was, and then I'd probably go LeBron.
You gotta put Kareem up there.
I would put LeBron over Kareem, so I think Kareem, like LeBron, it was longevity. Especially, but if you could look back when he was Lou Alcindor, of course, in the Milwaukee days, I mean, but it was to me his last like 10 years, it was more longevity of being there and almost being that guy that compiles the stats.
LeBron does need to retire soon, though.
I'm going Jordan. I'm a Lakers fan, so LeBron can retire whenever he like. I'm going Jordan. After Jordan, it doesn't really matter. You go whoever you want.
But no, you have to get. You have to go at least top. You got to go at least top 4, top 5.
Top 4. Oof, that's tough. So Jordan, Kobe, LeBron, or I could put like, you know what? I could put LeBron over Kobe. As a Laker fan, it's kind of blasphemous, but I could put LeBron over Kobe. Nah, I'm gonna stay with my man. I'm gonna do Kobe and LeBron. I'm sorry.
You can't. Kobe had that killer instinct.
Yeah, I gotta go Kobe over LeBron. And then LeBron.
Yeah, but
3. And then I am doing, and people might kill me for this, but if I'm gonna start bringing big men into the conversation, I'm bringing Shaquille O'Neal into the conversation strictly because he's the most dominant player I've ever seen on a basketball court. That dominant was Shaquille O'Neal. I don't even care how many foul shots he misses.
My thing is though, but if you're looking at a complete center and you want to go more modern time, I gotta go Hakeem.
You can take him. I'm taking.
I mean, I gotta go Hakeem over Shaq because Hakeem ranks first in blocks. I think he was 10th. This is how great Hakeem was. People forget. I don't know if it's still now, but at one point in time, he was first in blocks all time, 10th in steals, and 13th in scoring, and 14th in rebounds.
Yeah, the steal thing was crazy.
Guy that big and that active, 10th in steals. I don't know if he's 10th now, but I remember this was like a couple of years ago. But how is a guy that big and that active 10th in steals at the center position? If you're not a guy that was beyond dominant.
I can't really argue Hakeem Olajuwon because he's just a matrix of sorts. But I'm taking Shaq. Even I mean, some could take Tim Duncan. I'm taking Shaq just because the ebb and flow of the game. And again, are we playing zone or are we not playing zone? If there's no zone, then give me Shaq. If there's zone, maybe you take other players. Because you got to be able to shoot.
James. The one thing I will shoot LeBron a little bail. I'm not a LeBron fan, but we've never seen a player play at a higher level as he did so late in his career. That is impressive. Whatever he's using the oxygen tank.
How many?
But is that GOAT? But is that GOAT though? Is that GOAT though?
How many?
Oh no! I mean, Jordan is the GOAT. That goes without saying. We all agree on that. But LeBron, even though he orchestrated his championship teams, which I keep trying to tell these kids, that's the biggest thing.
Here's the thing. He orchestrated that championship team in Miami, and what happened the first season?
Well, they lost.
They lost. They didn't win the play. They didn't
to
win
the Dallas Mavericks.
Yeah. Right.
And not Maverick with Tom Cruise. The Dallas Mavericks.
Yes, no, that was Jason Terry, Wolfman.
Of course, everyone knows that I met Hollywood on Saturday. So, the legendary Whip. I met the Hollywood at the MonsterCon because why wouldn't you have a Top Gun actor at
I was going to ask you that. As interesting as that is, why was he there?
Because I don't think he's got anything else to do. Because Hollywood said, "Where'd you go?"
They said, "We got a booth empty. Get the guy from Top Gun." Who? Tom? No, the other one.
He went like this. He went like that. I said, "Hollywood, where'd he go?" Hollywood said, "Where'd who go?"
That is the best. I love that so much. I really do.
Wilt averaged 50 points per game. A whole season scored 100 points in a game. Yes, Wilt was dominant. And I actually have a piece of the floor from Hershey where he actually played that day. So hanging up on my wall. But how about Larry Bird or Stephon Curry? Ooh.
Steph Curry don't play no D.
I was going to say 2 white guys.
Sorry. I'm putting Larry Bird. I'm sorry. I'm putting Larry Bird over Steph, and people get mad when I say that. But Larry Bird was way more of a complete player than Steph Curry will ever be.
Larry Bird, 100% Larry Bird over Curry. Not even close. Not even close. People forget how dominant for like a 6-period stretch until he hurt his back that Larry Bird was. I mean, Larry Bird was from like 79 to like 88 before he hurt his back was playing 40 minutes a night, playing defense, playing offense, averaging like 29 points a game.
Hold on. You're going way too deep. Just go like this. The white guy who goes, "Hey, get this white guy off me and put a brother on me." That's all you got to say. That's all you got to say.
The funny thing is, Larry Bird. The funny thing about Larry Bird and not getting the respect he deserves is because, first of all, you got to be from a certain era. We're older now to have seen Larry Bird actually play. No, seriously, you have to see Larry Bird play. You hated that motherfucker because he just made shit happen. And when you look at today's game, you're gonna let Larry just come down and throw it up, as opposed to running an offense where he's gonna go. Larry would destroy in today's game, and he played defense, and he was tough as hell.
Yeah,
tough as hell. Gotta get that motherfucker his respect. And when you hear stories about him, they're like, "Yo, he's telling people, look, I'm gonna go over here, I'm gonna catch the ball right in that corner, I'm gonna shoot the three." And he did it. Yeah, and he was doing that's some bold stuff.
Yeah, and he was doing it. He didn't have to jump over you. He wasn't doing no Euro step. He wasn't doing that. He was straight basketball.
Julius Erving, I would have Erving in the top 15 because people forget what he did for the ABA going back to the Virginia Squires. So, and then what he did basically for the Nets. They were the New York Nets back then. I mean, he won. People forget he won 3. Did he win 3 or 4? I think he won 3 ABA MVPs in a row. He only won once in the NBA, and that was in 80-81. But he was another guy that was a dominant offensive player, but especially in the latter half of his career after they won the championship in Philly, he wasn't more than anything but a scorer.
Yeah.
I met Julius Erving when I was in like the 4th grade. It was everything you would want meeting one of your heroes to be. He was a nice guy, and hey, how you doing? And I'm flying on a plane to Detroit too, and we're gonna play the Pistons. And he was just really nice guy. I was like, man, that's dope. Because sometimes you meet your stars and they're complete assholes. But for a kid, I hated Bird, but he was one of the greatest ever. I'm a Laker fan. I definitely hate Bird.
This is a good question. Now,
Magic is the greatest point guard of all time.
See, I don't.
Period. He's the greatest point guard of all time. There's nothing to think about. There's nothing to think about.
Okay, we'll switch it. You get the entire NBA. Give us your 1 through 5.
Wait a minute.
Because I know Magic is my 1.
Okay, listen.
Magic is my 1.
Before you go, greatest point guard of all time, people forget the Big O. People forget Oscar Robinson. I mean, he was probably one of the in his era. He was probably the most dominant point guard. The guy averaged a triple-double back in the 60s. You didn't do that shit back in the 60s. I mean, he was a guy that was for his era and his time was beyond what Magic Johnson did. Magic Johnson, for all of his greatnesses, still had Kareem, still had Worthy, still had Michael Scott, still had what's his name, Byron, whatever his name was, Byron, whatever. So it wasn't like he was the guy that was Byron Scott. It wasn't like he was a guy that, well, even at Kurt Rambis. I mean, it wasn't like he was alone in his.
No, but he was the engine on that team.
They still won without him.
But he was the engine on that team.
They didn't win without him?
Yeah, they did. They still won not championships, but they still won without him.
Yeah, but that's the difference between winning and winning championships, because that's what people say about the Bulls. Oh yeah, well, when they left, Scotty took them all the way to the Eastern Conference Championship. I was like, yeah, but that ain't the finals. But they lost Jordan, and Jordan was so great. How come Scotty took them the next year? So that's that same argument.
And I love John Stockton too. Let me just shout out John because I don't think he gets enough love either. But just as a point guard, he's definitely top 5 all time.
I'm not taking him over Isaiah.
No, but he's in the top 5.
I'll land and stand on that.
Yeah. Isaiah was a different point guard. I mean, he was like that. He was like that little brother. Little brother that was always fucking hanging around annoying you.
He was fast. He was quick.
Big O, my father, Oscar Robinson. Like, so people don't talk about Oscar. Well, because people are not old.
Yeah,
but, like, you know, he was a guy though that in the 60s averaged a triple double, and there was no 3-point line. You know, so he was averaging 25, 30 points a game, even without shooting a 3. So, yeah,
Magic played defense on the center in the finals.
Great question. How many did Magic win without Kareem?
He didn't. And that's the same thing. I mean, that ain't his fault. I mean,
yeah, but that's like how many did Jordan win without Pippen? Like, come on, we're not going to do that.
I don't like to make that argument.
The bigger question is how many championships did Kareem win without Magic?
Yeah, there you go. That's a better one.
He did.
He had the one in Milwaukee.
He had the one in Milwaukee.
Hey, how many did Bird win without Parrish? I mean, we could start doing that shit all over. Teams stuck together back then.
But
so
Parrish probably isn't in the top 50 of great.
No, I know that, but how many Bird win without McHale?
McHale wasn't in the top 50 either.
McHale, I don't know. McHale definitely should be top
50. Is Steph Curry winning any of these chips without Klay Thompson? It's a long pause.
No,
he hasn't, but he probably would have won one when the Durant was there because Durant just came on and rolled off. Is this a football thing or are we basketball?
I don't know.
But I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying it.
We went to there's 75 people watching. I thought we went to a basketball format.
I'm enjoying it though. But to be honest, like when Durant came to the Golden State, they probably didn't need Klay, but facts are facts. Steph didn't win without him.
You know, I mean, Durant would have probably beat Curry when they played him if he didn't have Klay.
I think the better question is this. What are and I'll start with T. Brad. Who do you think had the best championship run? For the top 2 teams in NBA history who had their best championship runs. It could be the 80 Magic, it could be the 90 Bulls, it could be, you could go back to the
2001 Lakers. They only lost like one game, and that was to.
But that's one season. I'm talking a run.
Oh, you're talking about multiple seasons. I thought you meant. I thought you meant playoff run.
No, I'm talking about a seasonal run.
Are you? Wait a minute. One season?
No, multiple seasons. Best, like I said, you could say that before
their championship run as a core.
Yeah, as a core.
LA Showtime Lakers are the best team ever assembled, in my opinion.
Really?
LA Showtime Lakers are the best team. I will put them against the field. Any era of basketball.
James?
I mean, the guy ruined my childhood, so I have to go with the 90s Bulls. I mean, the guy went and played baseball, came back and won 3 more. Made me cry. So I'm serious. I hate that guy.
I lost money on the Knicks.
He ruined my childhood. I'm like, I mean that from the heart. Like he did.
Well, you got to remember, because I got to do the same thing, because you won in 91, 92, 93. Then he goes away, comes back, and then you win in 96, 97, and 98.
And people forget, even in that first year where he came back and then they got beat by the Magic, but I mean, he still carried, it's like, it's so weird with that guy. Like the guy went and played a whole nother sport, came back, and then dominated again. I will never see that again. Like it's crazy.
Steph Curry, best pure shooter, but he's one-dimensional. Okay, a couple more questions. All right, we'll start with James. Best pure shooter in basketball history.
Yo, you know what, yo? I'm gonna say Larry Bird, yo, because Steph Curry, and I know, but my thing is just, I mean, most 90% of his shots are threes. Like Larry was hitting them from all over the court, all over.
Underneath the
Hook
basket,
shot, mid range, back to the back, fade away, bada ba, bada boo. And I know Steph Curry, like, listen, he is going to go down as the greatest shooter. He is. I'm not going to take, but to me, I'm taking Larry Bird. He can do it from anywhere on the court. I have never seen Steph Curry take a big shot that wasn't a three in a big game to win it. I've never seen that. It's always got to be a three.
That's the style of the game, though. But when you
And that's
talk
true.
about when you talk about, because I'm thinking he's talking about pure shooters rather than scorers.
Yes.
Bird
Bird to me, like here's like Larry Allen, Blackbird Midnight. Larry Allen was probably one of the best pure shooters.
Ray Allen, yeah. Jesus Shuttlesworth.
Yeah, Jesus Shuttlesworth. Yeah, one of the best players. One of the best shooters I've seen in NBA history.
But people forget back in his Seattle and UConn days, he was putting it on the floor and banging on people too. Yeah. He wasn't just shooting; he was taking it to the rack.
I think my dude Raouf, Chris, aka formerly Chris Jackson.
Oh, Chris Jackson.
He was an amazing shooter. He was Steph Curry before Steph Curry.
True. Yes, forgot about him.
Steph Curry before Steph Curry, and but if
the
you ask
golden
me
nugget.
If you ask me who the best pure shooter is, I gotta go with Steph Curry. Like the shots he makes from so much distance, like from half court, just throwing it up with ease. I gotta give it to Steph Curry.
I have to. I actually got to go with James. With even because, like I said, Larry Bird was a scorer, but as someone that was the best pure shooter, someone that could just shoot from anywhere, from underneath the basket, from the left side to the right side, to where it would have been 3 points. You got to go. You got to give it to Bird, but they say, and I'm not that old. I never got to see him play, but people always talk about Pete Maravich. That Pete Maravich was Pistol Pete Maravich was Steph Curry before Steph Curry, and he played in the 60s and through the to the early 80s, and evidently you watch the highlights that motherfucker was a Harlem Globetrotter, was the white Harlem Globetrotter, and could shoot from anywhere. He could shoot literally anywhere on the floor. Drazen Petrovic. Oh yeah, that was sad.
Oh yeah, that's a good one too.
That's a good one. He was a good shooter. Drazen Petrovic, until he passed away in that car accident. But World Be Free. Actually, World Be Free. I liked World Be Free, especially when he was a little bit of a nomad, but he was a good shooter. But Drazen Petrovic was actually a good pure shooter as well. I also, being biased, until he had the injury, for about 3 seasons, one of the best pure shooters I'd seen was also Bernard King. Bernard King was putting up 32, 30, 40, 50 points a game without a 3-point line. But he literally would still shoot from where the three would be now. I used to watch him kind of at MSU come up the court, stand 4 or 5 feet off the key and hit from there. Scoring power forward. I'm not going to get into all the best scoring power forwards.
Scoring power forward, Tim Duncan. It ain't gonna be pretty, but it's gonna be effective. That stat box gonna be full.
Where does Tim Duncan rank?
Where are we putting him? Power forward or center? Power forward.
He's best power forward of all time.
But where in the lexicon of players, and this Tim Duncan played like 497 years. Where do you rank him? Just as a player in general, not positionally, but as a top 50 player.
I would say no lower than 15.
Absolutely.
Because this is a guy that
I'd have a problem putting him under 10.
He scored.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. I was trying to think top 10.
But this is a guy that, to me, he's another guy that's consistency. This is a guy in a 20-year career only averaged 21 points and 11 rebounds for his entire career.
But his defense, think about the guys he had to go against. Shaq, Dirk, Webber, Garnett, and he arguably, other than Shaq, was one of the most dominant during that time. He was playing in an era where the big man was still the big man. You throw Tim Duncan out there now, he's going to average 30 and 15.
Yeah, but if you look at his career from 2007 to when he retired in 15, he was only averaging like 15 points a game.
But that's you got to remember. He's also under the Greg Popovich system.
Yeah, but he less than 10. Yeah, but sometimes you rise above the system. Jordan played in the triangle.
Jordan was the triangle, though. Oh, yeah. Let's not. Let's cut that. He was the triangle.
Jordan could have played in the hexagon. Didn't matter what the offense.
He could have played in a circle by himself.
he was that good. Oh hell no! I'm taking Duncan over Malone every day.
Yeah. No, Malone ain't stopping nobody.
Well, actually,
I'm not taking Malone over Barkley.
No, I take
Malone over. That's a good one. Malone or Barkley.
No. Hell no, I'm taking Barkley. Are y'all serious?
Think about this.
Without Stockton, Malone is nothing.
Think about this with Barkley. Again, the best ability is availability. All Karl Malone would do is play 82. Literally, this motherfucker, all he would do is play 82 games a year. 82. And then the latter half of Barkley's career, like the last 6-7 years, how many games did he miss?
I mean, you would say the same thing for Bird at the end of his career.
Yeah, but Bird literally for a period of 8 years never missed a game. It wasn't until, like I said, it wasn't until that back injury that cost him that one season. Then he still came back. And he still played the season after. He still played in 70 plus games. Barkley, I love Barkley, but I can't. I would have to take. I would take Malone over Barkley. I love the round mound of rebound, but
I don't know if we're talking. If you just said that they're both healthy, I think I might have to go with Barkley or Charles.
Barkley played inside. He can play outside. He was a much better rebounder. He could take the ball on his own and get to the hole. Like Karl Malone it was pick and roll. Nothing wrong with it.
Who do you think, just out of curiosity, who do you think averaged more rebounds for their career?
Probably Malone, because he missed a lot.
Who actually had a higher shooting percentage for his career?
Pick and roll.
Malone.
You can't say he's Angel Reese grabbing all the rebounds by saying
Angel Reese.
Yeah, listen.
Angel Reese caught a stray.
He has a higher. Who scored more points over his?
When they played on Dream Team, when they played Dream Team 1, Barkley was busting Malone ass. Barkley was busting Malone ass.
We're not talking international play. We're talking, game in, game out.
I'm talking head to head. Barkley give you too much. Malone could. It's a difference between filling a stat sheet and making a difference on the court. And I never looked at Malone as a difference maker, even when he was getting MVPs and all that.
Actually, they played about the same amount of time, Mr. Rogers. They played about the same. They played about the same amount of years. If anything, that you want to say that, if anything, you want to say that after he left the Suns, Barkley probably should have hung it up because he played in 53, 68, 42.
I would say that.
Yeah.
When he I'm not going to say
he went to Houston.
Hung it up. Yeah, he went to Houston. He ended up getting injured, and punk ass Scottie Pippen was being a sucker over there. But in my opinion, if you got both of them at their prime, I'm taking Barkley, and it's not even close.
Yeah, I think I'm taking Barkley. Better ball handler.
He had to be the man on his team without necessarily a running mate. He didn't have that 1-2 running mate like that. Like, he had to set the offense. All right, I'm going to back you down. I'm going to dribble. And when y'all come over, I'm going to kick it out. Whereas Malone had that ball handler, that consistent ball handling in Stockton to be like, yo, pick, roll, dip it down to me. So it was just they were asked to do two different things. But and plus, I don't really have a lot of. I'm just taking Barkley over.
You just.
I was I was getting ready to go there. I left it alone.
Listen, I've been biting my tongue the whole time. I said I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. The guy likes to fish and hunt. That's all we'll say. He likes to fish and hunt. He likes to fish and hunt.
But we talk about that Barkley didn't have a running mate. I mean, if I'm not mistaken, didn't Barkley play with
in the prime of his career? I know you ain't talking about Houston.
Didn't he play with Julius Erving?
Yeah, but he wasn't the man. He was out of shape.
For like a couple years.
Yeah, he was fat and out of shape then. That's he always tells the story how Moses Malone had to tell him, like, get your fat ass in shape.
Listen, you don't like Carl, that's fine.
I definitely don't like Karl Malone.
Barkley had Kevin Johnson. He did have Kevin Johnson.
Kevin Johnson is not a top 5 player at his position like John Stockton was. So
I fuck with Kevin Johnson though. Kevin Johnson, like
I do too.
Kevin Johnson was very underrated in that time frame. He got some.
He was, but he's not John Stockton.
Here's a great one.
But he wasn't asked to play the same way with Barkley.
Here's a great one, James.
Stop it. Let's not be blasphemous here. As much as that's my fit. No, stop it.
That's a good question.
Stop it.
Hell no.
No.
Hell no.
Karl Malone. We got that.
Yeah, definitely. I don't deny that. But that was blasphemous.
That was blasphemous, and I'm the president of the Carmelo fan club.
Here you go.
That was blasphemous.
Tim Duncan still. I'm still going Tim Duncan. Kevin Garnett is fancier and flashier, but I'm taking Tim Duncan. A big fundamental.
Yeah, I got a question for y'all. If he wins another championship, where are we going to put Nikola Jokic?
Ooh.
Because I'm going to tell you something right now. That guy is doing things as a big man I've never really seen a big man do.
Well, he's no Karl Anthony Towns.
You be quiet over there. Stop it. You're lucky that they're winning because I've been keeping track of that while we've been on the phone.
I'm watching the game right now.
Oh, okay.
I don't.
2.5 minutes left. Knicks up 119-91 over that venerable, dominating force known as the Charlotte Hornets.
But yeah, if he wins one more chip, where are we going to put Nikola Jokic? Because that guy on the low has been kind of amazing.
2-time MVP. I don't know where you put him on an all-time list, but you got to mention him there. See, let me be fair. I grade today's big man with a little bit of a grain of salt because it's good being a big man when ain't no other big men there playing physical and doing that thing.
This is true.
It's very hard now, and I'm not taking nothing away from the brother because I think he plays great down in Denver. Inside, outside, passing, shots. But again, the body
his
of work,
competition is light. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. The body of work, yes. But could he handle Alonzo Mourning playing him? I doubt it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean that's it's. But again, to your point though, is that his fault that he's not?
It's not. I'm openly biased against today's big man.
Yeah, because you look at the 80s and you got Kareem, you got Ewing, you got Moses Malone, you got Bill Laimbeer, you got
Rick Smits, you
got don't keep him out.
Also David Robinson, people forget. Shaq was still playing. He just started playing. You got Robert Parrish.
Damn.
Salud.
So is it his fault that he doesn't have the competition that they did in the 80s and the 90s because it was a different game?
Yeah, I don't hold that because again, it's like the Steph Curry thing. We as great a shooter as Steph Curry is, we got to admit that guy's not getting play D on him the way a lot of these other guys prior to him in other generations were. Nobody's playing D on Steph Curry the way they were doing Allen Iverson.
Where does Ewing fit among centers? Ooh.
Of all time?
Ooh.
Who wants to go first on that one?
I mean, he's blindly say top 15. I'm gonna blindly say top 15
among centers.
Among just
15 or 10.
I will go on a limb and say Patrick Ewing should be in top 10 centers of all time. Top 10. Because you gotta remember, he's probably one of the first jump shooting centers that we've ever really seen.
But where do you put him over that guy?
Well, I said 10.
But where
who?
You put him over that guy, you know?
Well, that's why I brought him up before, because honestly, I mean, if we had to, if Nikola Jokic stopped playing right now, if somebody said, "Oh, he's better than Patrick Ewing," they have a good argument for that. You know, I can't take away what that guy's done. As great as Patrick was,
where does he rank among the people that he played against? That'll be the easiest barometer to see where he's at. Is he above Shaq? Hell no. Is he above Olajuwon? No.
No, he's above Alonzo.
Yeah,
is he above? Is he above David Robinson?
See, David Robinson.
That's a tough one. Yeah, exactly.
That is a tough one. That's a good one.
That's a tough one.
The Admiral had a different game, but I mean, I'm thinking. I mean, if I'm going with my top centers, I got to go. Again, I got to start with Bill Russell. Then I go Wilt. Then I go Kareem. Then if I think about it, then I probably bring Shaq at 4. Then I would probably bring Olajuwon.
It's 5.
I mean, I would.
You're gonna be thinking hard for this next 4.
People don't remember, but Moses Malone was a beyond dominant center in this league for about 15 years, and I think
we can put Moses up there.
He was underappreciated. I would probably put Robinson over Ewing, and then I would probably put Ewing. I would probably put Ewing at what is that? How many is that?
I think he'd be at 7 right there, or 8.
Yeah, 8. Yeah, around there. Yeah, so he's
because then I would probably drop in like Robert Parrish. People forget about this guy as well, but I would probably put in towards the bottom like a Bob McAdoo, and then I would probably close it out with, I would probably try to close it out with like Willis Reed and Dwight Howard.
Ironically, I like Rick Smith better than Ewing. Call me what you want.
But Ewing was a better player.
Ewing was a better player than Rick Smith.
I like Rick Smith better.
Where does
Ewing, when he first came into the league, them first 4 or 5 years, when he had them good knees?
Yeah. And that's another thing. You got to give him injury. Injury kind of killed his game, too.
Yeah, he also played on bad teams early on. I mean, really bad teams. Well, he was the first overall pick. I mean, he played on really bad teams.
So, top 10 for Ewing works.
Top 10.
Top 10 for Ewing.
I probably put Ewing 7.
Yeah, so that's respectable. That's respectable.
Yeah.
Man. Yeah.
Now I would put him in as the number 1 center from Jamaica in all-time NBA history.
Bang. Are we talking football? Rick Smith over Ewing laughing. Yeah, I'm taking Rick Smith over Ewing, man. You know what? In today's game, though, because Rick Smith's 7'4", he had a jumper, man. Rick Smith had a jumper. He could ball.
You put Rick Smith in today's game?
Yeah,
and he's
here's the last question.
I was messing with y'all with the Rick Smith stuff.
We know that.
I do like him.
Ralph Sampson versus John Koncak.
Don't know who John Koncak is.
He's the one that signed that huge contract and was making more than Jordan after one good series in the playoffs back in the late 80s. That he signed a 10-year, $10 million contract and was making twice as much as Jordan.
I said that sounds like Jerome James from Seattle.
Jerome James. He was Jerome James from Seattle before Jerome James. Thomas went fucking crazy.
Give me Jeff Rulin from the Sixers. Give me Jeff.
Ooh. Sixers are actually from the Washington Bullets.
Don't give me any version of Jeff Rulin.
Jeff Rulin was not. I don't know why people. I mean, he was not a great player, but he was not a terrible NBA player. Jeff Rulin. He had a stretch.
Who did he get traded for? He got traded for to Philly.
but he got hurt in Philly.
Did he get traded for Moses?
Yeah.
Oh wow!
Blasphemy. Joe Shane's grandfather made that pick.
He probably did.
Joe Shane's grandfather made that fucking roster. Like the Sixers are supposed to be set up after beating the Lakers and sweeping the Lakers. Sixers are supposed to be set up like, yo, I got a plan, but let's get rid of this guy.
All right, the last one, because I really got to go because I'm already well over my 2.5 hours. Was Pippen?
Oh my God!
Jordan?
You gotta give a better one than that. You gotta give a better one than that. Come on.
Here's my fish. Just run right into it. I don't like hitting people, so just run right into this.
I was gonna say
not violence.
I was gonna say Blackbird. Stop that. Stop that.
Oh my God!
You're just mad because Daniel Jones lost to Kansas City.
Okay, here we go. This is the last one. 2 guards other than Michael Jordan.
2 guards other than 2 guards.
Why don't you say
Kobe,
other than Kobe and MJ? Let's make it real interesting.
I'm gonna get real blasphemy. Kobe, and I'm telling you this. I know a lot of people like D Wade. I'm taking a prime Ray Allen over D Wade all day long.
Ooh.
I'm taking a prime Jesus Shuttlesworth over D Wade. I said it. I meant it. I'm here to represent it.
James?
And y'all don't have to agree with me.
I'm gonna take Kobe and the answer.
And 2, okay.
You taking
I'm gonna take the answer.
I was actually.
Problem is, Allen Iverson got played.
I was gonna go.
I know, but he took George Lynch to the finals.
If you're talking like I said, if you're talking that position, I gotta go Allen Iverson, and people forget because he had the career, he just didn't have the rings. Clyde Drexler.
Oh, Clyde the Glide.
Yeah. Clyde was one of those shooting guards that did everything that was asked of him. And at the end of his career, it was more of the fact that it was the pieces that he had around him in Portland, but he just didn't have we talk about how Pippen didn't win anything or Jordan didn't win anything until we had Scottie Pippen, but Clyde was a guy that just he had this career and he was a prolific. Like I said, I don't think he was a great shooter. He was a prolific scorer at the shooting guard position.
Yeah. Clyde was a beast. If it wasn't for Jordan, a little bit more about Clyde. Yeah. If it wasn't for Jordan, because Clyde grew up and I watched him go up on somebody at the same time, but he just stay up there, and the other person come down here and dunk it.
Yeah.
And special shout out to Dominique.
Plus, he went bald when he was like 23.
Yeah.
He looked like he was 47 at 23. We don't talk about Dominique Wilkins. That motherfucker still owes me money.
Oh, that's right. Sorry. That's why I brought him up.
Gerald still owe me money from the night at the Roxy in Orlando.
Freaking NBA player. Guy got all the money in the world.
Needed my $100. And then dogs me. And then when I call him out on the middle of the court during the Sixers game, years later, he pretend like he didn't know me.
Hey, let's catch him.
You were just another white face in the crowd.
Oh, it was funny though, because at first it looked like he knew who I was. Because then we were, I was, Roxy, your brother Gerald, this and that. And then I said, "Where's that $100?" All of a sudden, I was the fucking bad guy.
And that's what happens. Like, hey, you remember me from that time? Yeah, the money.
The money, motherfucker. Pay me. Best white player.
You pay me. Larry Bird.
Larry Bird.
Jerry West.
Oh, special shout out to Mark Price. That's one of my favorites.
Drazen Petrovic again.
No racial
Petrovic.
No racial stuff, please. Well, then you're on the wrong channel.
I was going to say, have you been listening?
Have you been?
Have
you watched this channel?
Yeah, we go racial. Fuck that.
I think James and I. What was it? 2 streams ago? Yeah, we were going.
Oh, that was great. That last half an hour.
I got so many DMs about that going. I love the last half hour because you guys just went the wrong way real quick.
We went so bad, T-Brad. I had one of our good brothers, Joe Rev. Shout out to Joe Rev. Salute to you and your family. And he hit Tim on the chat. He was like, "Hey James, you do know Puerto Ricans come in different colors?" And I was like, "Yeah, I know, man. I live in New York. It's okay."
To balance out the Giants racism, I'm gonna wear my Ali Haji chic hat from 1984. There you go.
Prince Ali, yes it is he, Ali Ababa.
The most racist hat the Giants ever put out. The French.
I mean, that's pretty racist.
It said no racial stuff. This is America. It's founded on racism.
That's right. Everything's racist. Everything.
Thanksgiving's kind of founded on racism. Sorry, guys, if you don't know that, but just dropped that bomb on the chat.
The beginning of the end for the indigenous.
But Thanksgiving, though, was before everything went to bad. Everything went to shit.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Give us your land. We'll give you this mirror.
That was the beginning of Skynet for the indigenous people of the world. Skynet for the serpent.
I'm gonna have to give the Pilgrims. I'm gonna have to give them the Pilgrims their due. They knew that if they gave the Indians tryptophan, which is the ingredients in turkey that makes you tired and go to sleep, they knew if they gave them that, they'd fall asleep and they could steal off the land.
Damn. And what's that movie? There's a movie with De Niro, and it's like 3 hours long, and they talk about how they were marrying to steal the land from the indigenous people. I forget the name.
Oh no, that was what was that? Flowers Moon. That was a real story.
Yeah,
Scorsese did that.
Yeah, that's wild. That's wild.
It was like Killers of the Flower Moon when they were talking about how the oil, real quick, because this is important since it's Thanksgiving. Real quick, 30 seconds of history. The Indian people, there was oil on their land. Of course, the white man wanted to take the oil. The only way they could get the oil is they had the Indian women marry off to white husbands. The only problem was once they married and then the oil was, husband and wife, what's yours is mine, mine is yours. They were literally poisoning the indigenous women and killing them off and killing off the rest of the tribe. They were poisoning them. And then that way the husband would still be alive and then he'd be the sole owner of the oil. And there you go.
Land and title taken away in one generation.
So that was Killers of the Flower Moon.
Killers of the Flower Moon. Thank you. Very good film.
Long.
Tim, where are you with the shows that we've given you?
Which shows?
I gave you a list of shows.
You said you started watching one.
I did. We did watch one. Hold on.
Severance?
You didn't? Yes.
Yeah, he said he watched Severance.
Yeah. But you never texted me the list.
Well, because I can't give you too many at once.
Listen, I'm out. I'm drinking. I'm having a good time. I'm waiting 15 hours to eat. And then you want me to write down a list? Tell your wife that I need to talk to her because you were supposed to send me the list.
I'll send you. Look, you got to get Spartacus Blood and Sand. This guy hasn't watched Spartacus Blood and Sand. There was a lot of shows I was surprised he didn't.
That's a good one. Spartacus, I see him mention that in our group chat. That's a Spartacus Blood and Sand is a good one.
That's fire. And you can watch all the seasons, but that first one and the finale, the season finale of Blood and Sand, oh my God, it was probably one of the best season finales I've ever seen.
Well, don't tell me.
There's going to be blood and sand.
It's going to be.
Oh, no, I didn't.
Blood and okay. Here's a question for you, and just for the last question because we don't know this about Mike Kafka. Jason Kidd.
What's his rank as a point guard?
No, what's his ethnicity?
Mixed.
He's black.
Vegetables. He's mixed vegetables, I think. Isn't he mixed vegetables?
Yes, he is.
Yeah, I thought he's
gumbo.
I only know this for one reason. Because technically I know this for one reason because his mother was Irish.
She dead?
I don't know.
Well, she's not dead. I'm saying she's still Irish.
Yeah,
she said she was Irish.
Her mother,
she's still Irish if she's alive.
Her mother is well, dead. I don't know.
I'm just saying she didn't lose her Irish descent.
Let me call Jason because of course I have his number because that's what all white people have all other white people's numbers. No, he's not.
Hey, Eddie Murphy showed me how you guys get down on the fucking public buses. So yeah. Eddie Murphy showed black people how white people are on the buses. So yeah.
Oh my God.
We know the trick now.
Best Best. This is a good one. Best Eddie Murphy concert film: Raw or Delirious?
Delirious.
Ooh.
Oh, but that no.
Delirious.
Ooh. That
Goonie Goo Goo. That's all I gotta say.
Hey, I gotta treat this like drink champs. I gotta drink on that one. I gotta drink on that one. That's tough.
I'm sorry. Yeah, nah, he did too bad. He did a skit when the honeymooners were gay. Come on, man. Come on.
Gay Mr. T.
And a gay. Come on, man. Come on.
Yo,
Come
Raw
on.
was still good. But yo,
Ice cream.
Hey,
ice cream.
Ice cream.
I think I'm going to Delirious. Don't get me wrong.
Okay.
I'm probably going to vote Delirious.
But you got to give me a reason why.
With you, you guys were naming them off, so I don't need to repeat them. You guys are naming them off. But oh man, Delirious. But it's not that like there's a huge gap. It's like a thin gap of which one is better. It's a thin gap, but I'm gonna go Delirious in a push.
Eddie, I want half, Eddie.
Yeah, exactly. So now I'm in here mad with a big old bush fish. And I'm mad. Oh, he only told you half the story. Don't you know you can take everything? Yeah. Yo, it was still a lot of that. It was a lot of stuff, man.
Well, you got to do the Bill Cosby bit.
I would like to talk to you.
You know, you got to do that. And then he did the Richard Pryor one. Yeah, that's I mean, it was I think
listen, Tim, the Jesse Jackson's he fucking won.
He fucking won.
He fucking won. I just voted for Jesse Jackson. He fuking won.
Oh my god!
I thought that thing they did for him on Netflix was really nice.
Yes. It was done well. I'm glad to see that it was handled the way it was because he's a great.
Yeah.
He is a GOAT.
Yeah, you kind of miss all the stuff he did. Like there's a couple comedians and they were talking about top 5 Eddie Murphy movies. That was hard to do. They came up with a list. I was like, yeah, that's hard to do because he's got so many.
Well, best not being one of Dudley Moore.
Or not Pluto Nash?
Of course, Pluto Nash. Pluto Nash is a classic.
Hey, I thought Norbit was funny as
last one. I really do have to go because the wife is yelling at me. Eddie Murphy or David Chappelle?
Come on, stop. No, we're not ending on that. It's Eddie Murphy. Stop it. Get another one. We're not wasting oxygen on this. It's Eddie Murphy. It's not even close.
But wait a minute.
What is the question? What is the question?
Here's the question. Eddie Murphy or David Chappelle stand-up?
Eddie Murphy.
Chappelle.
Eddie Murphy.
Chappelle's body of work
is
no. Hold on. No, we're not doing work. Chappelle doesn't have anything that touches Raw or Delirious. So how can it be Chappelle?
Because Eddie Murphy only did stand-up for a short period of time. Dave Chappelle is still doing stand-up. And coming.
Well, let me put it to you. Hey, hold on. I'll settle this like this.
Like LeBron, the longevity.
I'll settle it like this. Is dropping a whole bunch of bombs bigger, or if I drop a Hiroshima bomb on you, which one is worse? Because Delirious is a Hiroshima bomb.
Why we gotta die over some jokes?
Yeah, it's jokes.
Well, then I guess Dave Chappelle is dead. So no.
So, well, let's say it like this. Let's say it like this.
How the fuck are there still 82 people watching this?
Because we're fun. If you got 2 hits, right?
All right.
And those 2 hits make 10 million each, right?
All right.
And you've got 15 hits that make 5 million each. What brings home the dough? You see what I'm saying? If you say I'm gonna watch Eddie Murphy stand up, you got 2 options. If you say I'm gonna watch Dave Chappelle stand up, you got a lot more options.
You got
as an overall entertainer, absolutely it's Eddie Murphy. But stand up, it's kind of like Dave Chappelle's kind of passed him in a Michael Jordan, LeBron type of thing. Because I'm not arguing with you that those two are two of the funniest stand-ups probably of all time. I'm not arguing with you there, but when you say best of, it's like, yo, he's got such a big. It's like rappers. People knock Biggie down because it's like Biggie ain't got a big enough catalog. His albums was hot, but it's not a big enough catalog to go against some of these other rappers that got longevity. Yo, that was a good ass question, 777. That was a good one right there.
I would say we can end it on that one.
That was I think we can end it on that one before I get in even more trouble. Yeah.
Michigan's playing basketball. I gotta watch that.
And I got the
Why, you gonna watch them lose?
No.
The Knicks.
Chris Webber's not showing up for you. Neither is Juwan Howard.
They didn't win no championships anyway.
That's interesting. That's an interesting question, though. I'm still debating the Chappelle question.
It's tough. Now,
I'm telling you,
are you going to include things like Eddie Murphy's? Because we should be old enough about that. Are we going to include some of Eddie Murphy's tapes and things like that, like Boogie in Your Butt and all the stand-up tapes that he had?
I mean, Eddie Murphy was doing Saturday Night Live,
but I was
doing skits.
I was gonna say.
No, the question was stand-up.
The David Chappelle.
No, I know.
Here we go. Wait, last one. David Chappelle show, or Eddie Murphy on Saturday Night Live.
Dave Chappelle show. Chappelle show.
I got to go Chappelle show too.
Chappelle show.
Yeah, I mean, but that's not fair. That's his show. Eddie Murphy was part of his show.
But Eddie Murphy, I mean, when you talk about Saturday Night Live in that era, everyone talks about Eddie Murphy.
Eddie Murphy was Saturday Night Live.
Well, he was Saturday Night Live.
You talk about Hot Tub, and James Brown
in the water.
Too hot, make colder. You got to go through all that. You go through the.
Him doing Jesse Jackson running for president was hilarious.
You literally had him doing buckwheat on television when no one, Chappelle did shit like that too, but it was a little different when you're doing that like in the 80s.
Well, Chappelle had Clayton Bigsby skit.
Anything went in the 80s though.
Yeah.
So sometimes I miss inappropriate comedy. Sometimes I miss inappropriate comedy.
Chappelle Show is still the #1 selling DVD of the year. I can believe that.
I can believe it.
Come on,
I believe it.
Who's getting DVDs though?
I don't know. That's why it's the #1 selling DVD. We sold 6. #1. Come on. I mean, like you said, the Wayne Brady sketch alone was comedy gold for that'll live on forever. So
the racial draft, the National League of Dice when they were playing dice in the basement.
Yeah.
The Real World. When they did the fake Real World and Tyree and them came in, they slept with the white girl. Yo, that show is. I might go watch that tonight after I see Michigan beat Gonzaga.
I gotta watch Blood and Sands. I'm watching the Chappelle Show.
There you go.
All right, to the 85 people that are still hung in there this entire time, which is insanity to me. We appreciate you because I forgot we still have almost 50 likes and still have people watching. That's crazy.
It's better than talking about the Giants.
Well, I don't want to be depressed like Carl Banks.
Yeah, I mean, listen, this is holiday time. We want to be happy.
Oh yeah,
people that if you forgot, this is a Giant channel. So go watch the first hour of the Giant show. Because that's when we talk Giants and to the
just go watch Carl Banks be sad and then skip all the way to the end when we start talking basketball and movies.
Yeah, honestly, just in the last point of thought, honestly, it was kind of depressing.
I have to go watch this. I can't wait to watch this.
Go watch it and then text me because I'll be up. But go watch it and text me because it was kind of sad. That you looked at.
I know it's sad because I can tell by your face. T-Brad's not making a face. Your face looks like kind of sad.
My thing was you could see he was defeated. Like,
yeah,
how is this? And he really went in. He really went in on the defense. Like certain shit should not be happening. He really went in on the defense.
Brutal.
Wow.
Like brutal honesty on that. So, Chappelle versus George Carlin. That'll be for another time.
Chappelle versus George Carlin.
Leave my man George out of this.
R.I.P. George Carlin. George Carlin would be called woke today. I think of George Carlin as the white version. I don't want to even say he's a white version, but I put them on the same lines of truth telling as Paul Mooney. George Carlin could tell the truth. Paul Mooney could tell the truth,
but
and not be insulting.
You have to admit, though, a lot of things that George Carlin said in the 70s and the 80s
happening now. Coming true. Yep. Yeah. That's why.
Which is very scary.
I don't want to say he was a white Paul Mooney, but he was a truth teller like Paul Mooney in his comedy, and that's what Dave Chappelle does. A lot of truth telling.
Yeah.
And
George Carlin was saying
and talk about it. It's good. I love George Carlin.
George Carlin, like your point with the Paul Mooney, he was saying things that no other white comic was saying.
Absolutely.
None. And no other white comic really will say to this day, unless they're just pandering to the woke.
George Carlin was saying things that no comic was saying. He was going against the political structure.
Yes.
Like you could talk black, white all day, but when you start talking politics and how the
religion, he was going at religion too.
Yeah.
He was attacking everything. I love that.
Yeah, George Carlin way ahead of his time. Way ahead of his time.
I'm just checking Carl Banks's Twitter page, make sure he's okay.
I was gonna say, is he okay?
I think we need to buy him a puppy. Something, man.
We don't need to depress the dog.
I was gonna say the dog will be depressed. Like, come on, I want to play. Like, no, I gotta do the believe stream.
We lost. I gotta go. We lost. We lost.
I gotta go talk to Bob Papa about the team.
Well, think about this. If your job or one of your revenue streams is get on here and talk about a team all the time, and that team is just terrible, it really has to be draining on you. Like, I can't find anything else because he can't just have dead air. I can't find anything else to talk about. These guys really suck, but I'm not allowed to say that they suck. But I have to try to convince you that it's not that bad. But the record clearly shows it's that bad.
I would have to agree with these two gentlemen that Carlin to me would George Carlin was anything but woke. George Carlin was a realist. He was
George Carlin was real. He was real.
But he was.
It's not about woke, anti-woke. He was real. Real.
Yeah, he was real. No, that's what I said. People will call George Carlin woke today. Listen to what I'm saying. I said people will call George Carlin woke because George Carlin was big on letting people mind their business. He doesn't care about black people and white people living together. He doesn't care about gay people or whatever. All he's going to say is leave people the fuck alone.
I love the fact that Coach D is like, oh, I missed it. I'm going to watch from the beginning. Well, that's 3 hours ago, but we've been talking about this for the last hour and 38 minutes.
And Tim, before you leave, before we get off of here, where will you do your sports betting this week?
You know what? I would do it on the mighty FanDuel.com, number one sports book in America, FanDuel.com. You bet $5 and you win. You get $150 in bonus bets. You want to play some casino games? You want to do everything that you possibly can from sports.
Oh my God. That was good to you, Brad.
That's FanDuel.com, number one sports book in America. Now I got to fucking tag that.
There's the plug.
Yeah, I did the plug.
I said there's the plug.
I did the plug.
Hey, I'll throw you the alley oop like Stockton and Malone.
Oh, I love it right here because you guys T-Brad with the alley oop.
Bang! See, bang! Somebody saw that. Oh, NBA Jams.
I want to thank everyone that's hung out the last 3 hours. I want to thank James. I want to thank T-Brad. I want to thank this Mr. Philosopher. I want to thank Mr. Stein. I want to thank, of course, Dom from coming all the way, and Big Don also coming in from Texas. I want to thank James. I want to thank T-Brad. I want to wish everyone a happy Indigenous Personnel Day, also known as Thanksgiving. And to close it out, I want to thank, of course, Carl Banks. And Carl Banks is fine, guys. We're just joking. Carl Banks is, and I understand. I would be that exact same way. Coach D says, Tim, I watch all your shows twice live in the replay. Well, Coach D, I really do appreciate that. And I want to wish everyone a happy and safe Thanksgiving. I don't know when we're going to do a stream again because I'm going to be at the Knick game on Sunday. So I'm not going to, I don't know. We're not going to do a Sunday stream. Maybe we'll do a Tuesday stream after the Monday game. So from everyone here at the online Big Blue family. We want to just play the final sound bite to put everyone into a better mood for the rest of this Thanksgiving holiday.
He went like this. He went like that. I said to Hollywood, where'd he go? Hollywood said, where'd who go?
And we're out.